I'm just checking you can hear. Of course, a good job I can laugh at myself. I was a few minutes, well, actually, how did that happen? It's 20 past 8. Yeah, it's just, I always forget, because sometimes when I'm faffing about, I just waste so much time. So that could be a channeled message that somebody feels like they've wasted a lot of time. But yeah, I was an extra few minutes because I was just having a wee dance to Shaky Stevens or whatever. Merry Christmas, everyone. There's not many Christmas songs I like, but that's probably, I think that's my favorite. And then I quite like Step into Christmas. Da, 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 da. And obviously Mariah. I've changed that to my ringtone because I always have it as Journey Don't Stop Believing, which is why I found it quite funny that I put it on that wee short. Wait a minute, I better check I can. Oh no, that's because of my earbud. I'm thinking, don't tell me it's nowhere. Yeah, that's fine. It's because it's linked to my earbud. I forgot to put it back in the thing. Um, so yeah. So I mean that could be relevant. There could be something really significant about this Christmas period. But I mean, of course, it is Christmas, so there's going to be Christmas songs coming on, especially because I've got Christmas number ones. um, right, I've had quite a few downloads like specific to Twinflame. So yeah, and I'm tired today, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. I wouldn't. This is not a t-shirt. This is one of my jammy tops. I don't actually wear that much because I had to chuck the trousers out, but it says you've got this. I think you can faintly see it. Yeah, that wee bit's nice. It's got a wee gold bit, but it says you've got this all the way down. So I thought it was very appropriate. I don't think I've ever wore this for the challenge before. I might have, but I don't think so because it's not my best color. And again, I don't suit t-shirts, but I think it's probably the due to passion or not at all that I've worn that black t-shirt. Anyway, so but like I've said, if you've not heard me say that before, you obviously weren't here yesterday. But everything I wear is part of it. So the pink would be self-love, is what it means to me. But it's more important what it means to you. Unconditional love. Mary Magdalene Jesus vibes coming in there, I would say. Or Mother Mary. Um, well, that's blue I associate her with. Um, but yeah, this is if you've just stumbled across this soul family tonight or whenever on the replay, this is day 3. Although it's so weird, it feels like day 6 or something. But it's day 3 of the Fuck It Let's Go free 5-day challenge. And this is the exciting day. So it's quite funny that the exciting day is the day I've got the least energy usually, but it's fine because it's like I just put my cell out of the way to just channel the activation. But yeah, this is where we quantum leap to our highest timeline. So forgive me for for the lack of excitement about that, but it is exciting. So just ignore that and me. But I've just had a very, very chilled day. I was looking after my wee doggy pal today. So apart from going out taking her a wee walk, and she really only likes a wee walk. She just honestly, it's so funny. She just goes out, does her business, and wants to get back. It's a little bit like, you know, I only go outside to walk on the beach and then come back, and I don't even do that some days. But it's quite funny how it's like she doesn't like being out. So for a dog, it's funny. She just doesn't really like it. So yeah, our owner was just saying when she left there, she loves coming here. I was like, so do I. It's perfect when it aligns with like a day off or a chilling day or something. Because like, we literally just nap the day away. And then I realized when I eventually did sort of after I got back from the walk, I thought, right, I better just stay up because I'm not getting to sleep till like 8 in the morning and stuff like that. It's a nightmare. That So I just watched The Office. It gets pretty crap towards the end. It gets really boring. Like I know I said this before, but those of you that well, I know I'm pretty late to the game. A lot of people would have watched it years ago, but if you did only get in it recently, it's quite interesting that it's like spoiler alert, but they didn't renew that Steve, whatever his name is, they didn't renew his contract. And I mean, he's like it centers around him, so it is pretty shit without him. I mean, it's still watchable, but it's just it's not the same. Um, but he wanted to stay, so totally random. When I saw something saying that, I thought that's really weird. But nah, just so I don't know, kind of like, you know, gets a bit boring. But there was loads of things in it, so I'm going to channel about that for uh for when I'm channeling about the twin flame bit. And yeah, so I think I started saying that and I didn't say it. So yeah, if you're new to me, I'm a twin flame shaman, twin flame healer. So a vast majority, like 97% of the stuff that I put out is for twin flames. But because we're doing the free 5-day challenge today, this is for helping you beat procrastination, face your fears, not stay stuck in the procrastination and your fears, and bust through your limiting beliefs and lots of other stuff, guys. And if you're there and you're not shy, you can say hi. Oh, it rhymed. Or you can just stay chill. Because you know, it's quite funny that I've got the likes hidden just now. There obviously is people, well, hopefully that you're going along the challenge, but I can't, you know, control that. That's up to you. But there are people watching because, well, the views, but it's the likes too. Like, you know, there's at least double figures on the one I done last night and the one on the first day. So at least that's good. And yeah, and then so tonight is when, so after we do basically usually after, so I'm just going to talk for about probably about 45 minutes or something. And then, hello Barbie, how are you doing? Barbie, have you been doing the challenge? It doesn't matter if you haven't been, but it would be good for anyone. So but yeah, so I'll be in public for about 45 minutes and then, oh no, I'll be in public for longer than 45 minutes. I'm going to channel for about 45 minutes and then I will, when my alarm goes off, I'll see if we're ready to do the meditation, the activation. But it depends if we're, you know, if people are talking and what challenge? Oh my God, why do people keep saying this? Do you not see any of my posts or videos or like, do you get notifications? Like we're doing a free 5-day challenge this week. I'm saying it like that because you're like the fifth person to say that to me. And I'm like, I mean, this is just a really, really big sign to get that email list sorted so that the people that really are wanting to be notified of the stuff I'm doing, whether it's a free challenge or paid offers and that, because I'll be able to, you know, send you perks, at least you would get notified because this is a bit concerning that people are saying that. But also people don't really seem to see the community tab either, I've noticed. People say that all the time, which is annoying because I love that. Oh yeah, got two on there. What else? Yeah, so I think I'll do the meditation about. Oh no, I don't think so actually, because that's half an hour away. Yeah, that probably won't be happening at that time. So we'll do it at some point. If there's more people in about half an hour, then I will, if all the messages are out, but I doubt it because it'll take longer to get the messages out. But yeah, so for those of you that have been doing the challenge, so just a bit of a recap. On day one, you identify what a block is. So just pick one thing in your life, or a limiting belief, whatever you want to call it. Wherever you're stuck, basically. And then on day two, yesterday, you just take some action towards it. So, like I've said to several people that have emailed me saying, "Oh, I haven't picked any, or haven't," it's not that big a deal. Like, don't make it a huge big thing, especially because the week started out in a Scorpio moon with a lasted black moon Lilith, like literally just for a few days. It's rough. And that's what I started saying. I'm glad I slept most of that away because that we moved out of that like just about tea time here in the UK. So that's quite exciting actually. I'm going to look out on my thing. So yeah, Black Moon Lilith should be 0 degrees Sagittarius right now. But it's not. Oh, I wonder if it's. Oh no, sorry. Ignore me. I'm getting mixed up. Black Moon Lilith doesn't come out of. It's just today. I know what I'm getting mixed up about. The moon came out of Scorpio about tea time. That's what it was, and it was sitting on top of conjunct Black Moon Lilith. That's what was intense. So if you felt a real heaviness, or if there's a real shadowy energy, or if people were being a bit nippy, like not very nice, give people a break, but also give yourself a break if you were like that, or it's just quite a weird energy. Like I said, it's great if you're facing your fears and you're, want to be more empowered, and it's great if you're getting up to a bit of spicy action. That's pretty saucy. But I mean, the moon isn't in Scorpio now. But it moves. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it's before the end of the year. I'm pretty sure. I think it's like this. I feel like it's the 30th of December or something. But yeah, it's something like that. But so yeah, we're still very much in Black Moon Lilith. I think that's why I'm thinking that is because by the time people book a session with me, unless you get a session next Monday or Tuesday, it won't be there anymore. So it's like if you really want to sort of utilize that energy, then book a session. But like I said, I bring that Black Moon Lilith vibe all the time with all of my Scorpio, but just like just in general, and also my Black Moon Lilith and Pisces. It's like I say all the time, that's when you've got Black Moon Lilith and Pisces in particular, you can get a lot of, I don't like the word hate, but you can get a lot of hate for how psychic you are. You know what I mean? Because Pisces is very psychic. Black Moon Lilith's about your empowerment. So it's a lot of time where people can be jealous of you. So that's why that comes up fairly often, and I pick up on it for other people. And actually, quite a few people watching have got that too. Quite a few people watching have got that, and they're not talkers, and that's probably a reason why. Because, like I've shared before, when I thought about in my world online, I only talk if I feel really, really safe, and unfortunately, that's not really very many places at all. So that's a huge compliment to wherever I like to hang out. I must feel very safe with soul family, which I like to create here. So actually, let's just do a wee prayer that please God don't send us the weird troll people, because I can't be arsed with it tonight. I really can't. they're going to meet my shadow, my healed shadow, but they're going to meet my shadow. I don't think I'll have much patience. I'll just be like, goodbye. I can't be bothered with the head fuckery. I only got 20 minutes into watching last night's one. I couldn't be bothered, and I was like, I was just getting annoyed at myself for not like blocking these people as soon as that, because I just know instantly. My first thought on people is not usually wrong. I'm not going to say ever, because you've got to be humble, and there have been times in life where you might think something and it's another way. So you've got to be humble, but with this shit, nah, right every time. So, okay. So, that's about it. Yeah. So I'll announce the offers if I'm wide awake after this. I will post it in the comments of here and the prompt video for today. But it might not be until tomorrow, but it'll definitely be in the comments of the thing tomorrow, and I will put in the community tab too. Basically, I kind of tell you now, like it's the offers that I'm putting out are my bigger ones, so they're my sessions that are quite a bit more money than what my normal sessions are. But it's because they are like it is a sort of package, because those sessions can be done in one big sitting if you can handle it, or they're broken up into two parts, two over 2 days. So I was just guided to put those ones out because it fits with the themes of like awakening your psychic gifts and your creativity and the astrology too. Because when I started this 11 years ago next year, like it was the channeled astrology that people really loved, and well, still love, but and if you like the way that I do it, and that's what those lucky people got, that at like I think some people got that for free, but some people got that next to nothing as I was like navigating and figuring out what was coming through. But now, because it's so much later on, that is like so much more advanced. But I mean, some of these reviews that I shared about that, they were back from all that time ago. So people loved it then. So, whenever I do it, rarely now, people do love it. But it's not something, but again, I think it's because I don't really talk about that one a lot. And I was like, why not? Because I love doing that for people. But I think it's just, I can, the whole time I've done this, I do, it's a very mixed bag of people that I attract. I can attract people that never seem to have any money. Like, sorry to be blunt, but like, that is what, more so in the past, like it would just be people like saying they've not got any money, which is fine because I'm here to support people, and that's why I put out so much free work. But um but I am also here to help people. I'm about to say that phrase again, move the needle. I don't know where I keep getting that from. Is somebody sewing or knitting or something out there? But yeah, I am here to help people move the needle on that in a little bit. And what I mean is, a lot of the time, bar when it's really, really genuine, when people haven't got the money to spend on themselves, um, which yes, I know in the inflation and all this kind of stuff that's going on right now, and especially because it's around Christmas, like a lot of people don't have a lot of extra money, but besides all of that, some people do, and it's not actually about whether it's me doing stuff like this or anyone else doing things that are for, especially things for your healing or for your own health. Um, it's basically like not valuing yourself a lot of the time. Not for everyone, but a lot of the time it's like, oh, it's only me, you know, I can't really part with this to do that. I've got to get, this, that, and that, and and I get it. But what I'm really proud to have helped people with over the years is to move past that block, um, and basically invest in yourself. And I'm just realizing it's quite interesting because I actually had one of my close friends today. I'm keeping it anonymous, but if she watches this, she'll know it's her. I had one of my close friends today asking if, like in the new year, if she could come for some healing. And so that actually felt like quite a proud moment of my friend as well, because it's like it is something to be celebrated when you're like, you know what, I'm worth it. I'm worth investing in myself. You know, I'm worth it, So that's why, like, even when people just spend a wee fiver here and there, or like £2 or $2 or whatever on the chat, and it doesn't need to be me, by the way, it can be anywhere. It's like you're saying to God, the universe, what you're saying, I'm worth it. You know what I mean? But also you're saying I'm grateful for this person helping and stuff. Um, but and also it's when you tithe, it comes back at you. So it's like I haven't actually said this in any of the other days, but I'm guided to say it now. If at any point you are guided to make a donation, either through the YouTube thing or the Ko-fi link that I'm about to put in, obviously I'm extremely grateful. And I must stress, it's absolutely not needed. This is a free challenge, so it's absolutely not needed. But it's good karma. So I'm literally just, people that know me well know it is good karma, and you will get miracles come back your way, sending it back a millionfold, never mind a tenfold. Yeah, it's just good karma. It keeps the energy flowing. But again, only if you can. It's not a necessity at all. You know what would be like gold dust? If you actually done this challenge and you found it helpful, if you email me a wee paragraph about where you were stuck before, how you felt, what you done during the challenge. You don't need to go into too much private stuff. You can if you want, because I'll put it out anonymously. And obviously, the action you took and how you felt. But more importantly, kind of, you don't, if you did do it and you found it helpful, you don't need to tell me right away. Obviously, you can, because we're going into Christmas stuff. But look, like, take note of it 3 weeks from now, which I looked on the first day, didn't I? I'm going to look again what that would be. So actually, it's 3 weeks, I would say, from today. So yeah, I remember looking at that. So on the 7th of January, kind of check in with yourself again and see how you're feeling. And you should be feeling a lot more empowered, because everything I do, that's where I'm a little bit different from how a lot of other shamans work. Because I'm a shaman and I mix it in with the galactic energy and the light codes and stuff, which in my experience, not all shamans do that. It's I basically, I don't need to do very much to do soul retrieval for people. Like, it's just like with the Reiki, I don't even really call what I do Reiki, because I never draw the symbols and all that. I've never needed to. And my own Reiki master recognized that, like, ages ago. So and since then, obviously, I've trained in so many different things: hypnotherapy, transformational coaching, therapy, but I always say shamanic therapy based on my whole experience, astrotherapy, blah blah blah. We know all of this, inner child healing. But and then also, I'm just getting this housekeeping out of the way. If you want help with anything that's come up this week, you can book a 15-minute free session. Actually, that's not free, is it? It's the same deal. A a 15-minute session and just use the donation link to whatever you want to pick from that. The lowest is a tenner. So let's see. I'm actually just going to put that in now before I forget. And that's just, yeah, generally just if you want to just, talk about anything that's come up this week, if you just wanted like a wee bit of space, and also just to meet me one-to-one if you've never done that. Nobody ever takes me up on it. And it's like, hopefully people that know me well that are genuine will know there's no catch. I mean, obviously it is, like I said last night, it is space that if you want to ask me about the offers, but I mean, the offers haven't even been announced yet, but if you want to ask me about any of the offers on Thursday or Friday, then you can use, it would be wise to use the time to do that. And there's no obligation at all to buy anything. It's just, it's even just like, because that, like I said before, if people buy anything tomorrow, basically tomorrow up until Sunday, and even beyond Sunday, because I'm just highlighting these bigger things because they're often very hidden because I don't put them out very much. Because again, I can have a bit of a block to thinking people can afford it. And it's kind of like, but as well as my bigger packages and stuff too. So if you do actually want to work with me more extensively, well, join my email list when I've got that I'm running. But like, just inquire, just email me and ask, and so. But yeah, as far as this week goes, it's always a bit of a risk, I think, when in the run up to Christmas. Like, I mean, I was even forgetting today. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't even like the offers, and then I had to sit and do it. Like, I have so much fun doing this, although it is tiring. That and that's often why the money comes in, because it's like what I say, I get paid to play. Like, I'm not focused on making loads of money or even any money, therefore the money does come in. It's like what we resist persists. So basically, like, I'm prepared that nobody will buy anything at the end of this. Obviously, I'm not calling that in, but I'm absolutely prepared for that because it's happened before. So my thing is, when that's happened before, I'm prepared for it to happen again. So if anyone literally buys anything, it's a win for me. If people buy more than what I would ever, if people buy the big stuff, well, I'll be fucking delighted. And it's a Merry Christmas and I can pay off my credit card. but but thankfully, I've been able to keep up with all that anyway. But it's kind of, so do you know what I mean? It's when you're not coming from a place of desperation, you can be a wee bit more chill. But it would be helpful. But that's why I'm getting, kicking my own ass to get into these challenges again. And like I said, it's I'm all about messy action. And oh, Charlotte, did I actually? Hey, I'm here, but I'm just about to have my dinner. Yeah, absolutely. Eat your dinner. You do you. That was so funny, by the way. Charlotte commented, right, saying, um, when I asked in the poll, so please go and vote in the poll, because I've asked for anyone that does think that, well, and again, you don't know if you're going to be buying in yet because you don't know what the offers are. But so just forget that. Just say that you did want to buy something. What would you be interested in as a bonus? I'll definitely be giving one as a bonus. I might even give two as a bonus. I think I might do two as a bonus, but I don't know because they're really. I might do another wee bonus because they're quite big bonuses. Because all of those things that I picked are at least over £100. Some of them, most of them are actually like £144 and stuff. But yeah, I thought it was hilarious that Charlotte, you commented that you wanted to see the future, and it's so funny, isn't it? Because I totally get what you mean now. You were drawn to the EFT, but you want to know the future. But I was thinking, this is really weird. I'm sure Charlotte knows what EFT is. We done it last night. Is she thinking it? And then I was, it's like thinking you're thinking it was ESP. Well, I mean, it's not far off. That's what we do too. But yeah, if you want to see what I mean, you can see the comments. But sorry, I'm a bit out of it with how tired I am. But I was pissing myself in my bed when I read that. But yes, so Charlotte voted for the glimpse into 2026, which again, buffer alert, if anyone wants that, that is actually a paid service too. So again, will I get around to promoting it? I don't know, guys. Because see, when I finish this, I'm in holiday mode, and if somebody buys it, I'll do it for you. But I'm really not that arsed. Do you know what I'm saying? Very relaxed sales here, haven't I? But like I said, if people buy the offers that I put out with the challenge, that is something that you'll get, and I will endeavour to get you that. But it would be in January, so just know that if you get that as a bonus, part of more than likely the first week or 2 weeks of January will have went by. So, you can see if it was how your January went. But also the other thing I say about when I do the basically the 2026 breakdown, so January through to next December, it's interesting and you can always update me on if any of that happened. But something that I can't control is I see years into the future. So, I set the intention, could we please let this person know what's actually going to happen this fucking year? Because that's helpful in a way. And by the way, it is helpful because I've said this fairly often, but I feel guided to say it again because the Sagittarius new moon this week is, as you've heard me saying about a million times, and probably every other person that's talking about anything like this, it is extremely galactic, very futuristic. That's why I'm like that, and I'm a Sag moon. But because this new moon is exactly conjunct the galactic center, and today actually Juno, the planet of marriage and commitment, is conjunct the sun. So that's really exciting. Wait a minute, I'm just seeing if there was anything else that's really exciting because I remember looking at that ages ago with Juno, and I remember being like, "Oh, what? That's ages away." Like today, well, typically actually, I think it was yesterday, but yeah, that's amazing for relationships because that's why. Actually, no, it's yeah, it's pretty much well yesterday and today, but it's amazing because that is like the end of the old paradigm of karmic relationships, especially any ones that were particularly toxic, but just karmic relations in general coming to an end, like an old cycle closing, and like a new cycle of that's why I've put new earth lovers. But it's really it does it's just love in general, like if you're feeling more pulled to somebody that you see the long term with, like you could see yourself committing to, it's that's very much in the air. Um and um where else was I going to go with that? Yeah, because right now it's the sun, the moon, Mercury, planet of communication. So just quickly, sun, shining the light on where we are right now collectively, the moon, your feelings, your hidden feelings, your intuition, Mercury, your communication. I remember Mercury in Sagittarius is extremely blunt. Funny, very blunt though. Um, Venus in Sagittarius, planet of love, beauty, money, what you find beautiful. There's something else I usually say and I'm not thinking of it. Oh, self-love probably. Love, like romance, self-love, what you find beautiful, things, people, and money. And so be careful with spending. That's why a lot of people overspend at Christmas because Venus and Sagittarius is go big or go home. That's why for some people's bonuses, they might not be as generous as what I'm doing, but like I don't know how to, I don't know how to rein it in. So that's how people benefit. It's like, do you want a card? Oh yeah, here's 10. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, yeah, that's just a Sagittarius thing. So, but be careful with your spending, unless you're spending it on my services. Obviously, I'm only joking, but like spend it on my services if you genuinely need it, because you will get the benefit out of it. But when it comes to in the sales and everything, just watch for that because you really could overdo it. And then Mars would kick your ass because Mars is in Capricorn, and it's like hey, you should have been doing that. That was very silly. You need to pay your bills. The bills come first. The priority bills come first, right? Then work out what you've got for other stuff. Oh, and also as well, if people do want to do any of my bigger things, or even just individual sessions, if I know you a little bit better, you can pay it in free. A bit like Klarna and ClearPay and all this, and PayPal free and all that. That's not available to everyone though. You know what I mean? PayPal, it doesn't automatically offer you that. Um, but it's a bit like that. I can just set up an invoice and you can pay it up over 3 months if needed. I would prefer it to be 2 months because I get fees every time it's split up into more bits. But, so let me know if you're really wanting to do something. So there's no excuse basically. Um, and because if it wasn't for paying things up like that, I would never get in either, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's actually really taught me like good money management. Um, what else? yeah, so you can just see if the offers fit with you when I put them out. And yeah, like I said, if you want to get one of those wee 15-minute chats, you don't be shy about doing that because I'm not going to do the hard sale. I don't want to work with people that don't want to work with me. You know what I mean? I also don't want fucking chancers, like, but so if you just want to kind of chat to me because you want to know for the future, that's okay too. Um, we're all about the future around here. Um, yeah. So we're going to get into this, like the Juno conjunct the sun and everything as well. But I was blunt when I spoke to my ex earlier, but I did say it was a chuckle too. Yeah, that's what I mean. It is, you know, it is blunt. Like I've said before, he's probably really not going to like that. I keep saying that, but I'm sure that's not the only thing. My twin flame's got Mercury retrograde and Sagittarius, which, like I said, I've no idea if he knows anything this about his things, but I just know from when he's born I can work that much out. And what I always think is, if I've actually calculated his exact chart, that's really pretty crazy, isn't it? But I just can't think, I just don't think he could be anything else. Like from what I think it is. But anyway, so yes, definitely do that. But like I said, it's not a free 15-minute Zoom. It is, oh, I've still not put that in. You need to pay one of the amounts on this link because what I said that I researched years ago, well, I didn't research it, my guides led me to it. It's not wise to do work like that for absolutely free because, first of all, people don't value it. And second of all, people can hex and curse you and all that. Now, I'm not, you know, I'm not meaning that any of you are doing that to me, but trust me, some people are that watch. So, but it just kind of keeps me safe all round. And like I said, I'm a shamanic teacher too, and you know, I help a lot of other people that do work like this. And so, you know, please take that on board as well. Obviously, you've got to use your own discernment, and that's quite funny because the card that led me to one of the many cards, not as many as last night, that was loads. The goddess of discernment, Freya. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. That always reminds me when I say if it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. Um, but and that's appropriate for fuck it, let's go. But yeah, be use discernment in that. So your haircut looks good. Thank you very much, Barbie. This is like I hadn't brushed it up until about like 10 minutes before I came on here. Um, so yeah, it's still got some body and volume from when I had the curls in yesterday. But thank you. I just had that up in a clip and I thought I suited better down. Um, yeah. I like it better curly though. I've noticed that from when I had it straight on Monday to yesterday, I suit curls way better. I always say this, but one of my very blunt friends, who actually, it's not Sagittarius she's got, but she's got like a double wheel going on. She's said that since we were like really young, like probably like 15 or 16 or something. She would, and then whenever she lives away, so whenever she came, she always used to come home. Actually, she might, I don't know, actually, she, watch this, she might pop up. But it's like she always used to come home at Christmas, but she'd always be like, Cornwall, you look way hotter with curls. Like you should just wear curls like every day. So it's like, well, that's a bit high maintenance to be honest. But like, do you know what I mean? I do think I do suit curls better, I think. But you've did hair 20 years. Oh, mate, what are you a hairdresser now? Amazing. You know, it's quite funny because I people often say to me for various reasons, like when I worked in nurseries, when I used to do all the wee girls' hair, the parents used to be like, night changes, One Direction just came on if that's relevant. But we're only getting older, baby, and I've been thinking about you lately. Oh, that's relevant, isn't it? To some. Um, just how much the night changes. I don't know the rest. I don't really know what it's about, but yeah, the parents would always be like, "Oh my god, it looks like they're all going to a wedding." Like because I do like really intricate like French pleats and fishtails, and oh my god, I love it. And that's why it's kind of like, look, my niece's hair's both their hair are lovely because it's like basically beautiful red ginger curls, right? Like that people like basically show stopping curls. Like the oldest one literally looks like Annie. In fact, the youngest one looks a bit like her too. The youngest one's got the attitude of Annie. The older one looks the spitting image of Annie. Um, but Like cheeky. The younger one's cheeky. She's funny. She's got the same Venus as me, so we're a wee bit cheeky together, and that's all right. But it's she'd be shy too, though. Actually, she's kind of funny. She's kind of like she's quite surprised. She's Aquarius moon. Like sometimes she'll be like singing like me as well, actually, and like she's really good singer. Like she has actually got a beautiful voice. Um, and other times she maybe be standing a wee bit back because the other one's a Leo rising and she's like, look at me, hello world, I'm here. And the other one's like Scorpio rising like me, and she's like, oh fucking hell. You know what I mean? Well, she doesn't say fucking hell, I hope. She's only 5, but I've not heard her saying that. Although sometimes, when people slip up, they like to just repeat it right away, and it's like, hey, you shouldn't be saying that. I never said that, so I don't know why you're saying that. You know what I mean? Well, no, okay. In those occurrences, obviously, I probably did say it, and that's why they're saying it. But it's quite funny. Like they know what they're doing. They're like, yeah, you shouldn't be repeating that. They're like if you drop something on your toe or something, and you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean? It's like everybody does it. Um, and I'm sure people do a lot worse. But anyway, I try. I just want to make that clear because yeah, Mercury and Sagittarius could be all about the swearing as well. But that's why I'm like that because I've got a moon and it's potty mouth. You know what I mean? But I'm not like I don't swear around kids. I don't like that. Like I don't like when it's just like willy nilly just swearing here there and you know what I mean. I don't care around adults, but I just think around kids you should try and sort of cap it within reason. Because well, really, you shouldn't do it. But I mean, people do. Let's fucking get real. But it's like that. Anyway, moving on. But uh, but yeah, no, a lot of people have actually even said. I think actually that's quite funny. A medium once said to me, "You missed your vacation as a hairdresser. Like you could have been a hairdresser. It's because of my Mars and Scorpio. Like, see, even when I'm dyeing my hair with the cheapest, the cheap hair dye that I've used for like a million years, like I do it like literally with a fine tooth comb. Like I literally use an old toothbrush, and I use like a back combing brush. So actually, Barbie, could you tell me is that wise? It seems to work, but I don't know if you're meant to do that. Also, here's a little hint, but again, Barbie will be able to tell you if that's okay or not. But actually, Brianna's a hairdresser too, and she said that she said that was all right. I think. Um, I put it on my eyebrows too. That's why they were so dark the other day. But that was quite funny. I looked like Eugene from American Pie. You know the dad in American Pie, because my mum was like trying to fix this thing that was getting her build because I can't build stuff like that. I've still got a fucking bookshelf over there from like that's been sitting there about a year and a half. I I've not got a clue about shit like that. I would sit down and try and do it, and I'd be like, I can't do this. Isn't it funny? It's like when it comes to really hard, deep emotions for myself, for other people, yeah, get stuck in. Let's go there. Let's help you clear your trauma. When it comes to building, and that bookshelf is tiny, by the way. It's like a little, it's like a little floor one. I wanted it for the cards, or I think I wanted it for the cards rather than the books. Like I wanted it down here, and I just so I did, and my mum would do it. She loves doing that, and she's good at it. She's Capricorn rising, but I keep forgetting it's there. But and I don't want to say her now because she just built that other thing. But she'll probably help me over Christmas if I was that bothered about it. But I usually just like to sit in my jammies and watch films. And it's quite funny today, actually. Like literally two of my best friends, like ones that don't know each other, um, like they both texted me at the exact same time. It was like I was talking to one, and then I mentioned, "Oh, I'm just seeing my other friend. That's all I'm doing." And then at some point, and then we just arranged when that is. And then that friend texted me right when I said it, so it was quite funny. It just shows instant manifestation when you're thinking about someone. It's frequency. Do you mean it's real energy? Thoughts become things and all that. But yeah, I just associate that time after Christmas, before New Year, as no man's land. Like I can't even really fathom when people want to like go out and like socialize and that. I'm like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like that is just for doing fuck all. And that's I know most of the time I do fuck all anyway, apart from work and yeah, and just chill and occasionally see some of my friends and obviously I see my family quite a bit. But um yeah, even when I was had a busier life and that, like even that's like I said, I always just associate that time and not doing very much. Like um I don't know, I just don't like this time of year. But I am going to venture out one of those days at least because I've arranged that today. So not out, just out. Not out, just out. Just food. Maybe a drink, but food. Um, Yeah. But oh yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like I do it with the toothbrush and the backcombing brush, and then I put it on my. But yeah, I did leave it on a bit too long. I told my mum I was like, "Can you remind me when that alarm goes off?" And then the alarm went off, and I had already taken it off. And then she was like, "Is that alarm going off now?" And I was like, "Mum, that was like 10 minutes ago. Thank God I wasn't relying on you." And I was like, it was already quite dark. I think it's because I need my eyebrows waxed, so it's like caught on to all the tiny hairs. Because actually, look, you can see it because I've not got any of that on. Because you see how dark it is when I do my eyebrows, right? That's because I've got that's the hair dye from the other day. So it's quite good in this case when I'm not wearing makeup. It's like uh I've not even got face cream on or anything. I've just washed my face. But it's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's quite good in that case. Um and actually, before I started, it's gone now. I'd put my lip balm on and it looked like it had way up here. And because it's got a bit of tint in it, I couldn't get it off. But I think it's just my face goes red in the heat. So, no, that's that. I've got a wee heater on. Anyway, Cherry Cathy here. See, I'm blaming that on all this. See how different the energy is, though, from last night and the night before? It is like more upbeat energy. Um, right, so, wait a minute. What were you saying is awful? Wait a minute, wait a minute. What have I. Yeah, I think I need one. Was that about the session, Barbie? I think you need one too, because we've never met and I would love to meet you. So at least do that and then you can know for the future. Um, so I like both. You can still do both. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I do like this. It's fun. I didn't know if, I didn't like it at first because we're in that Mercury retrograde, but I do like it now. Didn't not like it, I'm just getting used to it. But it's just because of what I'm saying about I do think I suit curls better. Uh, yeah, self-employed gems are good artists. Yes. My youngest at 2 years old embarrassed his dad at the supermarket sitting in the trolley shouting, fucking no, when they're at the checkout. Thankfully he grew out of it. Oh, that's funny. Do you know what that reminds me of? I've told this before, but oh my God, it's one of the funniest. Oh, I was like going for an interview at this nursery, right? And it was like a really posh nursery. Like it was like a really, it was, I would never have taken the job even if I'd been offered it because it was fucking ages away. But it was like a really, really posh place, right? A big giant mansion of a house. And so all the kids that went there, it was all very well-to-do families and that. And but clearly that doesn't stop anybody swearing when they're painting. Oh, that kind of spoils the story. But anyway, because basically, like as I was like the guy was like, he was kind of it was like, an informal kind of interview where you go into the room where the kids are playing and there wasn't actually very many of them. And basically, long story short, he was kind of pottering about in the wee kitchen bit or something, getting like the pen and the paper or something. And so he was like over the other side of the room. And this wee girl was like trying to put a shoe on, right? And I swear she was about it was hilarious because she was so young. Like I think she was only like 2.5 or something. She might have been 3, but all I remember is like she was tiny, and she was like, "Oh fuck's sake!" You're like, "Oh my god!" And then she said that again. She was trying again. She was like, "Oh fuck's sake!" And I was like, "So like, do you know what I mean?" I was kind of like trying not to laugh. And when the guy sat down, like when we were further away from the kids, like I sort of said said to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, our mum had said, when she's dropped her off this week that her dad's been painting and he kept dropping the paintbrush." But it was just so funny because she was using it in context. Like you got to admit, right? Although it's not great, it's hilarious when they use it in context. But then also, like to be serious, it can be worrying too because it's kind of like, oh, that's not good because is that because it's something like that, like a one off, and you kind of like, oh, whoops, you know what I mean? Or is that because it's just total norm, like to just fucking swear away and all that kind of? But it was funny anyway. Well, that was their story. That's what they said, but on it just always sticks out as my head has been. And I've had loads of other things like that in nurse. God, there's been loads of things like that in nurseries. the things they tell you. Because remember when I showed that picture the other week, or the picture a wee girl drew me, like it's got to have been at least 10 years ago or something. Or, I don't think it'd be 15, but yeah, maybe it is that. Something like that. But it's like, it's a shame that the girl in the picture's faded out. And then like the thing that was even freakier, like that did freak me out. I've not watched that one back, but that did freak me out when I was showing it live on here. And I realized that there was like a really, really like big moment when I bumped into mine, and he was wearing an orange t-shirt, and the guy's wearing an orange t-shirt in that picture that kid drew, and she was like a really psychic kid. So I'm like, but I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I don't know. If he keeps clothes as long as me, if he's mirrored me like that, maybe he's still got it, but he looked good in it anyway. He gets a tan, I don't. But moving on. But that is kind of strange. But and I never ever noticed that before until that live when I was showing it. But I hate winter. Yeah. I like, I don't know. I don't like the energy around it because, can feel kind of heavy. And I feel the sadness more in people than a lot of the joy. But and also just drama. Like I always just associate, like, because even when I was younger, something always went wrong at Christmas. Actually, though, there was one Christmas I had where um I had like a really, oh, that's gonna be relevant. I have told it before, but I'm like, I don't really want to think about it. But yeah, long story short, I had like a really, really bad time, and it was because like I was trying to be, someone was trying to pull me back to a karmic timeline, if you get what I'm saying. And then it just so happened that when I went out the next again night to try and tune me up and kind of forget about all the shit, like, it was like the crowds, interesting, the crowds parted, and there he was, my twin flame, and I was like, oh, and that was a Merry Christmas. But that was now so long ago. It's really quite insane. Like, yeah, very, 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 very over 10 years ago. So, but I've got a good memory. That was actually, like I've said before, I think that was the only time I saw him at Christmas. It was weird. That's, I don't know why. It was just like, God was like, hey, you pair can actually see each other this Christmas. She needs a bit of cheering up, and then we'll just keep you away from each other for the rest of the time. But yeah, I do like it because I like to wear my hat and I like to be cozy and stuff. Like I get a bit upset when it's like not hat weather. I'm like, oh God, you know what I mean? So I'm having to be away between Christmas and New Year to support the kids visiting existing family, hoping they do okay and I can just chill in the hotel the whole time. All right. Well, yes, I hope you enjoy that. And it can be quite fun being in a wee hotel. I don't like being away for, too long. I like to, and I chum my mum away for a wee thing like overnight. Uh, Oh yeah, I did come on and share about that, didn't I? Because remember, I was like talking to this woman where my mum was getting this wee mini op sort of thing, and I just happened to be talking to the woman about the hotel we were staying in, saying how good it was the last time and how it was a bit different this time. And she knew the hotel owner. I was like, fucking hell, you know what I mean? Only me. I mean, I really honestly could write a book about these stories. It's just, but she was laughing because I wasn't saying anything that wasn't unhelpful. Like it was helpful. I was just kind of giving a few pointers. Whoops. Like, got to be careful who you're talking to. But it was like once, now that we're going there, once I was telling a story like the stories I tell on here. And yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, so that's great. So there's a link to my twin flame there. You know what I mean? It's like, you're bonding with people and then you're like, oh shit, yeah, yeah, you're like one of his best friend's mums. That's great. But we got on great. She was amazing. Um, but anyway, let's stop telling these stories because I need to get on with this. But yeah, no, it's actually, that's insane. That's how, you know what I mean? Like there's so many reasons why we're real twin flames, but the amount of people I met just in through work and all of that were always like connected back to him. It was so strange. I was thinking about that memory the other day actually, because again, I won't go too deep into it, but what I will touch on is it's all the things that I pick up on because it was like something didn't add up. Because when I saw one of his friends, I didn't know him very well. I think it was the first time I'd ever met him. somehow, weirdly, because I knew the rest of them. And he knew too much about me. And he was, oh yeah, that's because of my mum. And I'm like, no, I think that is because of your mum. I think that's because somebody else sees my stuff on Facebook. Like, I don't think your mum's got better things to do than be going on about me because you don't know me. And that was interesting. But yes, much. Not supposed to do that same day. What are you talking about? What was that to? I felt the shift late morning to this more upbeat energy. Yeah, I said you would. Good. I'm glad you did. Not raring to go, but I'm feeling a bit more optimistic than overwhelmed. So I'm grateful. Good. I'm glad you are. You deserve to be feeling a wee bit better. G said, Mum, gonna whoop my ash. I gotta find the video. What? I can relate to the not so good Christmas. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like I have got more not so nice memories of Christmas than nice ones, unfortunately. And again, like right back, I've said this before, but right back, it does actually link back to a karmic person. It ruined it for me. You know what I mean? And though, even though that was like literally over 20 years ago, well, 20 years ago, it's like, no, over 20 years ago. It's, yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's quite hard to sort of like, so I've got to create more nice memories at Christmas. Um, okay, this is nice and cheery, isn't it? So, um, so we're clearly not doing the, wait a minute, I think I do need some sort of, I'll put that on and see how we're getting half an hour. So, getting into all of this. So there's a lot, oh, actually, shit, that is relevant to the cards that are sitting here. So I totally forgot, right? So I just when I was shuffling them, I couldn't help myself, and I pulled out a couple of cards before I went live. And the card actually says picture. Looking at pictures, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. And look what I've just been doing, nostalgia. I mean, good and bad. But right, the other card, this is what kind of made me laugh. Separation, but in reverse, so that's a good thing. Sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you, uncertain future. So we could take this two ways. First of all, both cards say missing you. And separation in reverse I always take as a good sign because it's like a separation is coming to an end. But because it's got missing you upright and missing you in reverse, I feel that's like when someone's kind of like been in a bit of denial. And I'll tell you why, because one of the episodes that I was watching of The Office, like, so again, spoiler alert, but it was, The Office came out 20 years ago or something, and I was late to catch on. Like there's a couple in it that because there's quite a few cute couples, but there's a couple in it that are really interesting because like Dwight and Angela, right? It's like they act like they don't like each other pretty much the whole way through it, but in a lot of the whole series, they're like running off to get it on, basically. But it's like they're not, but at the same time, they're not very nice to each other. So, it's just because it's getting near the end, like, and unfortunately, a short spoiled it for me, and I saw that they actually end up together. But like, that episode that I've just watched, it was like the one the other night, he was like, you don't love him, you love me. Like, just, come and be with me. Like, because she'd married this, well, gay guy. And and so she doesn't take him up on it, right? Even though you can see she wants to. But then what happens is it comes out that the guy's gay and the guy leaves her. So it's kind of one of the ones where you've shot yourself in the foot because she wanted to go with the guy that put the offer out and she didn't. But it's like, it's clearly she's meant to be like a really bad, like dismissive avoidant because when somebody acts like they really don't like you and they really do, like, I mean, she loves him in that. It's sad. But also, although The Office is a comedy, I was like, oh, that's quite touching because like the bit I've just got to, like, I'll watch the rest of it when I get off of here. Like, she's burst out crying in the car and she's actually saying, like, I love him. And he's like, I love them too, because that's the funny bit. The gay guy in the office was actually sleeping with her husband. I mean, this sounds not funny, but it is funny if you see it. And she was like, no, not him, Dwight. And so, like, I was like, that's interesting. I mean, it's like someone that's been in denial about loving somebody the whole time and everybody saw it for 12 years. So 12 years could be significant too, or longer. you know, that's her having that moment of admitting it, but it feels too late because she knocked him back. And it's kind of like she's not in a good place. Like she's not got any money. She's feeling, you know, really crap, and she's got a baby to the gay guy. Oh, that's the other thing though. It's not the gay. It's actually the guy she's in love with. So it's and then also what's quite interesting is the babe. I'm here again. I tell you I'm here again, babe. Where have you been? Right, I'm not about to sing the whole thing again. But oh, hello Tony, how are you doing? You've been in my prayers and my thoughts. And I don't, you know, I don't want to bring it up, but I know that that'll be so much in your awareness anyway. Like that, I saw the picture of that wee girl on the news earlier, and I was just like, oh God, my heart. So yeah, definitely thinking of everyone in Australia, especially right now. Um, um, but yeah, I wrote 2 minutes. So that like before, so this is the moment when he says to her, like, you know, what are you doing? Because he's like, we've wasted too many years of our lives pretending that we don't belong together. However much time I've got left of this life, I want to spend it with you. And she basically knocks him back. And then she gets dumped, and then she regrets not doing what she wanted to do. And then I've wrote a few episodes later, she's crying that she loves him. And then I put, yeah, dismissive, avoidant, acts like she doesn't like him the whole series. But her character is funny, like really deadpan. And apparently she's really warm and friendly and lovely in real life. And she always acts like she doesn't like Pam, and I think they're like besties, really. Oh yeah, and then Dwight though is dating somebody else, but the bit I've got to like he keeps staring at her, like so. I think I need to expel that one out. How that comes up in this all the time. And then I'm just going to read them all actually. We'll see how it fits in. When I was watching an episode of Towie when I woke up, and I always remember thinking that was interesting at the time. Arj was like about Gemma. I'm in love with. He actually says I'm in love with her, but I can't work out whether it's a friendship or a love. And so again, that is another a weird aspect of denial, and I do feel a lot of people do that too. It's like, is this like a friendship love or is this a love? And then everyone else is like, I think the fact you talk about it all the time and you fantasize, I think it's love. um, and then every time you come and go, you take another part of me. That's a song. Every time you go away, you take another. Oh my God, she was quoting a song. That's hilarious. You kissed me like you meant it. That was her saying it to him. And then when his friend's giving him a pep talk, he's like, your problem is you overthink everything. You're a match made in heaven. Except they didn't work out, but that's not the point. They did work out for a while, but I think they were kind of toxic together. And then he declares his love, and he's like, I don't give a damn what anyone has to say. So I think that's quite, I think they were showing me that because it's like, I feel when the divine masculine really steps into their power, it's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody's saying. I'm going to do what I want to do. Whereas I think, you know, when you're not out of that, you care too much about what other people think. Especially because a lot of divine feminines can do stuff like what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It was quite funny when I cut the shorts. I put that moment, like I've just realized I am that auntie. The older I get, I am that auntie. But I actually wrote weird auntie. I was like, hang on a minute. I was just writing that auntie. Where the fuck did weird come from? Except weird can be wonderful, weird and wonderful. But I'm not giving a fuck because whenever anybody's had the privilege of calling me auntie, they've always loved me, whether I was a real auntie or not. And I have loved all the children that have ever called me that, whatever ages they might be, and they still do. I don't see a lot of them now. That's just the way that life goes. But my actual nieces adore me. So that's something I will be very, very proud of. There's something in my room actually. There's a big wordy thing that's like, you know, to gain the respect of children is one of the best things you can do in life. You know what I mean? It's not that, it's a big load of writing. And then yeah, there's a bit with another two characters where he's like, getting your friendship back was what's the most important to me. And then she was like, oh, I'm getting you back when I most need you. And I thought, oh, that's very the Sagittarius new moon, because it's like, you know, new connections and stuff, moving out your comfort zone. And then I wrote, Jim and Pam are going through troubles and then they make it up. He was working too hard and had his priorities wrong. Yeah, that was quite sad to watch that. I was like, oh no, are Jim and Pam going to break up? But I think it's kind of like they were showing me it because it's like when twin flames are going through a separation and not talking. I'm sure there was other stuff I wrote down. And then the songs that came on, and then I'll get back to the chat. Like I don't know what it was called, but there's something about confusion. There was one called Boy in the Bubble. So I kind of thought that was like people in a spiritual awakening confusion. And then there was something about a song about a code word. But I was like, I feel that's when people are like, right, if I hear somebody or see somebody say this word, or if I see this sign, that's my sign to do something. I don't know. I just feel like that might be what somebody's done, or maybe people need to do that. I wouldn't live by that because I've given a story before. Oh, that's quite a long story, but it's kind of important with this. Once when someone was hanging on the edge of, oh, Mariah's just come on. Um, like when somebody was like hanging on the edge of booking my therapy package, right? She was like, she asked to see a sign of an owl. And long story short, she didn't see the owl, but she just went ahead and booked. And you know, right when she booked, she said she felt a rush of energy wash over her and just like this is the best idea ever. And her partner sadly was actually a spirit too, so they definitely had encouraged her to. But also she saw owls everywhere. So sometimes it comes after you take the action, you know what I mean? But by the way, that's people say that a lot, that they feel the healing as soon as they book the session. That's when you know I'm working with God and the Holy Spirit. Oh yeah, and I Want to Be Yours Arctic Monkey has come on the last few days. So I love that song. So but yeah, I want to be your lucky meter, something like that. Sorry, moving on. My guys are being a bit too funny tonight. This is just that's it says a lot of things like that. Oh my god. Right. So, but the bit of the Take That song that I heard was "Babe, as I walk down your." No, it's like "Babe," you know, and that was as I walk down your road. Can't wait to be near you. And then I don't know why I was saying there was another guy in that video. There actually isn't another guy in that video. So that's kind of weird. The last time I channeled that song, I thought it was going to be that, you know, he walks in and the wee boy is his, but there's another guy with a woman. There isn't another guy with a woman at all. So that could be, I probably might have been channeling people that are worried that someone's with someone else or they're going to be with someone else. It's just the fact that he's been away. Fuck knows where he's meant to be. And the whole way in the song, he's like, where have you been? No, more like, where the fuck have you been, mate? Why are you singing, where have you been? You're the one that's been away and you're walking back to her and she's got a fucking 3-year-old. Where have you been? What a cheek. um, so, um, and then it was like, please take me back, babe, please take me back. Hold me close like you used to do. Anyway, can't really get the tune of it. Is that it all? So I'm doing okay. Yes, it's been crazy, but the community is pulling together. Yeah, that's one of the silver linings that comes about when a tragedy happens. But yeah, I mean, what is there to say? I'm just keeping you in my prayers, and everybody here will be as well. It's just horrible. I can't even, I don't think anyone wants to imagine. It's kind of, you know, it's like years ago when I was, well, a long, long time ago, people remember in Scotland when it was the Dunblane, when the guy went into the P1 class and yeah, quite a lot of the children. I mean, I always, every day, it's the 13th of March, I never forget, I always say something about that because it's just, yeah. And yeah, I'll be in and out because I'm at work, but I'll catch up when I get home. Yeah, absolutely. And there's stuff in the membership too if you want to watch that. And if you let me know if you want any of the cards that I pulled, just put in the comments on the replay, and I'll pull you cards when I do it tonight or tomorrow. Well, it'd be tomorrow because, and tomorrow's the last chance because I'm only going live in the membership tonight and tomorrow because I'll be tired on Friday. Well, I might not though. Actually, I might have loads of energy. So all I want for Christmas is you. Somebody's saying all I want for Christmas is you. Oh, that fits with what we're singing actually. I just realised that. And then it comes up the end, the end. Karmic cycle over. New earth romances begin, if they ever ended. Oh, now it's stay. Won't you stay another day? And I can't remember any of the rest of the words. Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Well, and then this grabbed my attention too. Time passes, but my feelings don't change, even though you no longer trust me with your heart. And I was like, wow, that's really depressing. Thank God it's not Scorpio Moon anymore. But that came out as well. Those ones are always sad. Be right back. Got to email my mum some stuff. Absolutely, just you do you. That's fine. Birthdays too, except my 13th birthday when my twin came. What, you don't like your birthdays either? Oh, that's not very good. But when we get older, birthdays can be a bit boring in my experience, and you too, Charlotte. um, what will I do now? I had a wee list. Right, so we've had a wee chat. We'll do the meditation. I think we will do the meditation in a bit. Well, we'll definitely will do it in a bit, but I don't know when. Um, I'm sure there was something else about all this. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I'll just do a wee bit more cards and then we'll go into the meditation. So, could you tell me anything else then? Because I shuffled them off camera. What else to go with all the stuff that I just churned out there? The dragonfly, light-hearted and adapt. Oh, light-hearted, Sagittarius energy. Light-hearted and adapt. Finding out and change, things coming to light and heal. Yeah, so I really do feel with that Black Moon Lilith and the last of Scorpio, it's very secretive and like I said, it's very taboo and it's very much desire and it's very empowering. So it's like kind of like anywhere where you are desiring something or someone, you can empower yourself by going after it. But, and this is a big but, as long as it's not doing wrong by others. So that's what I definitely feel I was picking up on yesterday. Like those Pluto cards were basically like, look, you're going to get your fingers burnt. It's not going to end well if you don't do right by people. Karma, karma's real. Actually, that's funny because I've got the balance bracelet on, but the other one says karma. Um, and also balance with the winter equinox that's coming up. I really need to find this deck that's got a winter equinox card in it. I hate when I don't find it like in time for it. So yeah, there's things coming to light. So you're going to get a lot of clarity. And key on a ring, many options, unconventional, one night stand, string along. But the good news is that was in reverse. So what might be coming to light is that I feel like, remember this isn't everyone's, but it feels like it fits with what I was just saying when I was singing the Take That song. Like people that might have been not interested in any type of commitment, it like could be having a drastic turnaround. And like I said, that can be for many reasons. That could be the spontaneous spiritual awakening that's happening for a lot of people with this new moon. But also just at the solstice, the energy, the twin flames is always balancing. But yeah, some things could be coming to light, but also that could go the other way. That could be things coming to light about that, with the Scorpio, with the Scorpio moon that we've just been in Black Moon Lilith. So it can go kind of both ways. Um, Clock, men needing time, cycles takes time to heal, progressing, and that was in reverse. So yeah, I would say whoever I'm picking up on now, the wave of people, what will be coming to light is somebody has been healing and they've went through a transformation. And for some people, you might only just be starting to go through that awakening and beginning that journey. And for other people, they might not have started. So it's different for everyone. And that's why I said the other day when that woman, I think it was Deb, said something about, divine feminine, divine masculine together in 2026. Absolutely. Like joining in on that visualization and prayer, but realistically, it won't be all twin flames because not all twin flames are ready for that. Like, if you quite frankly, if you haven't been doing the huge amount of work that needs to be done and putting the boundaries up with the right people and recognizing who is holding you back, karmic people, that won't happen. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, sunglasses, watching, looking, perception, stalking. So I get the feeling, although it says stalking, I get the feeling that is tying in with that, like people that are keeping an eye. There could be something about Christmas because last Christmas just came on. Oh yeah. So well, it's and that isn't. Oh yeah, it is all Christmas songs now. But well, either last Christmas or Christmas coming. Reminiscing, making memories, learn from the past, perception, specifically about last Christmas or a Christmas because we've got learn from the past. Backstabbing. Oh dear. Heartbreak and pain, separation, loss, deception and lies, shock and attack. Yes, I mean, I feel that's definitely going to all be, especially because we've got key and a ring in reverse. I think that's something, oh dear, girl with a snake, charmed or used, enable boundaries. I think this is definitely Black Moon lives it. So, there could be, this could be like confessions of things that have happened around a Christmas with snakes, girls that are snakes. Because it does say girl with a snake, and I shuffled all of them and it came out again. So that's quite specific. And I shuffled twice in a row there and Ascending came out. But I feel even for whoever that might be relevant to, this group of masculines are Ascending, and whoever might be the girl with the snake or the guy with the snake. That doesn't sound that doesn't sound too good though. Well, sorry, moving on. I was going to make a really bad joke there. Well, it's quite funny what I was going to say, but it might be a good thing, and it depends which way you're taking that. But yes, learning and expansion, transcending, preparing for union, new phase. So even if there have been things, betrayals, backstabbing, lies, things that shouldn't have went on in the past, this group of masculines are ascending, and like, but going by the look on my face, I think it's that kind of feeling of like I'm not even that person anymore. Old school, outdated thinking. Yeah, it's not me anymore. Conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So I feel this might, I'm tapping into some people that, however you've acted in the past, it's that kind of thing of wow, if I knew things were going to go the way they were going to go, and I was going to awaken to this level, I wouldn't have done some of the things I've done. Self-indulgent. That's a good card, but in this case, I wouldn't have been so selfish. Um, Self-worth and value, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. Yeah, I keep cutting it at key on a ring, picture, date in reverse. Yeah, someone wasn't interested in date. Seduction, attraction. Like, I'm tapping the fuck out of this. That feels a bit shady. Attraction, teasing, hooking up and date, third party temptation. So again, take it with a pinch of salt. It's general, but there's definitely something. At least someone's masculine is going to be like, I've got pulled into something for however long, and it's somebody that's seduced them and turned out to be a snake. And someone's got clarity about that. Clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, determination. Right, okay. So I don't think we need to spend any more on the twin flame stuff because that's basically the gist of it. Right, so I did want to pull an inner child card. So let's see. Oh no, actually, just before we move on from the twin flame stuff, because of what I've just said, let's see if false twin flame comes out. I wouldn't even say, and with whatever I was picking up on there, I don't even think it's that strong with that. I feel that's like a drunken mistake. But I mean, it could be something more substantial too. But that feels like, you know, an illusion. Yeah, that is definitely. So that's that same energy. Somebody feels like they were kind of seduced into something that wasn't worth it. Change your perception. So, but this person's been able to see through that, and they're now want to be on the path to true love. And rebirth, personal freedom unleashed. And this person's transforming for true love, pathway to true love. Okay. Do we need any more of that? Healing, separate. Yeah, the separation's healing. Go within. So it's cool that we use different decks and the message coming out saying, right, right, let's do an inner child card because I didn't do that last night and I meant to. So what have we got? Oh yeah, and so like, it shouldn't, it's actually I've not got the thumbnail, have I? I don't know what will end up being. Where is the healing separation that I just put back? Where have you been? Where have you been? Babe, I'm here again. I tell you I'm here again. Babe, where have you been? Catchy. Um, Soul Merger. And what was the other one? Oh my god, I forgot already. is it? Healing separation. Yeah, beyond delusion. We'll just get that just in case, because when I can't bored watching the whole thing, it's just good to kind of skip and find it, which can take me ages too. Right, so somebody wants to heal the separation. Somebody wants to speak up because they've been able to see through an illusion or manipulation or seduction in that case. But it will be in other areas of life too. And there's a soul merger going on, and they're on the pathway to true love. Except I might just use a couple because if that's not showing up very well. Yeah, that's not showing up very well, is it? Let's see what it does. That's better. I'll use that one. Right. Especially because it goes smaller when I put the thumbnail on. Right. So let's get a wee inner child card. So yeah, just like I said, first day, identify a block. Yesterday, take some sort of action. Today, take another action. It can be as small as you like, because really today's about the meditation. And then tomorrow, when you take that action, you'll be taking an action from your highest timeline. So you'll be in a different place and a different mindset, even if it's only just a little bit. But some of you, it could be like a really big difference. So the one thing I'll say, and I go quite serious when I do this, is if you don't want a lot of things to change, I would click off now and not watch when I do that, because things will change. And I think that's why the dragonfly came up first there, because dragonflies to me are about transformation. So, you've got to be ready for it. That's why on the twin flame journey, a lot of masculines stay away, because they're not ready for the change. You know what I mean? Actually, I just want to shuffle Hotman deck for some reason. So, what are the collective of hot men wanting to say? Hot men and women, but these are guy cards, so we can't say this is a woman when it's clearly a hot man on the card. And even the other ones have got that vibe. I don't know how to handle my emotions right now. I feel, oh, this fits with what came out. I've been watching your socials and admiring your pictures. Yeah, so somebody definitely is, a lot of the masculine are very in their feelings and reminiscing, or actually checking up on your personal social media or whatever else if you do public stuff. We're meant to be, if they know about it, some might not know about it. So we're meant to be together. I wait for as long as it takes for a shot with you. And that confirms the other stuff I picked up on, because that's always my card that somebody fucked up and they don't know how to come in. It doesn't need to be exactly what I've said, but it could be something along those lines. I'm realizing I know I like choosing someone else or choosing many other people other than you. I know I have blocked our union, and I know I'm really blocking myself. And that's why because now that's fitting in with what I've channeled about the office. Like when she's like, making out she doesn't like him, but we can see, because it's like meant to be like a documentary, the way it's filmed, she's always like smiling and like, basically it's just obvious she's in love. But she doesn't admit it till it looks like the last few episodes. Um, and it came out again. We're meant to be oh my god, I need this for the thumbnail now. We're meant to be together. I'll wait for as long as it takes a shot with you. I'm waking up. So that's quite, wait a minute, I need to go and get that. That's quite amazing. I need to go and get that. I think that's like, I need to go and get that connection back before I lose it. That's quite amazing that I've pulled the one about blocking the union and realizing with waking up. I think that needs to go in the thumbnail. And I'm changing. I don't want to be with anyone else. I'm releasing myself from karmic ties. That fits with, wait a minute, I'll just use that. That fits with the Juno conjunct the sun and healing separation. Sorry, guys. It's all about the thumbnail. I don't think one's going to top this. Right, so I see signs about you and your situation, and it freaks me out sometimes how accurate they are. I'm waking up. Just that. It's kind of huge. If it's happening now. But that's the way it'll go. I think that should be. Yeah, that'll be fine. Right. What does that one say? What's the same one again? Right. And I always feel like I need to be fair about it. And what have we got? And that's creeping in. I miss you. Yeah, there's been a lot of cards saying I miss you. I'm missing you. I'm missing you. I miss you. This person misses you, and I'm sure you miss them. All the people that this person is. There's lots of people that this can be about. What have we got? What are the collective of feminines wanting to say back to the masculines? I trust you. So whatever's went on, the feminine saying I trust you. I wish you could see yourself as I see you. Oh, I know you worry I'll see the real you and run. You're wrong. I love every side of you unconditionally. Someone will mention me to you today. Know your worth. If something feels off, it usually is. And then I need you is behind that. Oh my God, the Christmas and New Year one. Fucking hell. You're the only person I want to kiss every New Year's Eve and every day. Oh, I thought it was one about Christmas too. Oh God. Our astral sex is on fire. Kundalini lit. We talk so. Oh, that's interesting. That's behind it. We talk so much telepathically, it'll feel so natural when you're really here. That's interesting. That's what I call sexual telepathy. Out of all those cards, when they're like that, that's Black Moon Lilith and Scorpio, all right. We used to be best buddies, and now we're not. Oh, sad. I can never just say that. I always have to sing it. Right. Um, let's get the big mega deck. Oh no, it's in there. Well, yeah, I'll end it with them. Let's get the inner child one. So let's get an inner child card for the feminine and the masculine. Like I said, I'm using this theme because this could fit with what some of you were working through with what you've done for the challenge. Because just generally from the people that's kind of, I've spoke to, it's been a stuff about overthinking or needing to get out of a rut in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think that kind of nails it. But and I don't know what other because not many people have said, so you'll know what your thing is, right? Give me an inner child card for the feminine and the masculine feminine side. To do tonight is your night, bro. Tonight is your night, bro. I put that in the comments. That's what I forgot to say when I was talking about twins. I kept hearing that as well. When I was channeling that best friend last night, I kept hearing tonight is your night, bro. Tonight, whenever tonight is. And that's like in twins when he's singing to his brother. Um, so it's like that's what was quite funny. It's like in that they're meant to be twin brothers, but in this it's like well, when I was channeling that friend, it was like the friend was like, you've got this, bro. Do you know what I mean? So like whenever it is, someone's going to do something. But yeah, that was the same card again. Today's the day. It's time to begin the journey. So I would say that is definitely about Sun conjunct Juno and Sagittarius. Today is the day. It's time to begin the journey. So I would say divine fit. Oh my God, and now please come home for Christmas has just come on. Obviously, it's not weird, it's, because it's Christmas songs, but the wording, it's like feminine, be open to communication. You know what I mean? But be open, but don't pin all your hopes on it. That's what I would say, which can be quite a hard balance. But right, 36. You're worthy. I just opened up at 40. So someone could be 40 because it's you're worthy. So that'll be interesting if that comes out for the masculine. That was just in the book. Right, 36. And you're wanted. You're worthy and you're wanted. They just guided me to in the book. Speak to yourself with kindness. Say yes. They're telling us stuff when I'm trying to find the page. Today is the day. It can seem overwhelming when you look towards the finish line of a journey you have not yet begun and see how long it will take to reach the end. But the finish line is not always where your attention belongs. It belongs in the space right in front of you. The journey begins with one step and continue with the next step and the next one until one day you will have arrived. If you have pulled this card, then it might be time to do what you have been putting off. Sorry, guys, but I would say that is definitely the divine masculine's feminine side, their feelings. That's why, that I mean, obviously people that are here all the time get it, but if you're new and you're like, why are you talking about all those programs and films and stuff? That's why, because that's exactly what I just channeled. I can see how that fits. I channeled about somebody coming out of denial. Well, I think there's a few things of people coming out of denial. And then those cards saying I'm waking up and I know I really blocked myself and today's the day. And this is saying if you've pulled this card, it might be time to do what you've been putting off. So obviously that's going down the route of love. But like I said, that is because it is love I help you with. But it's also because Sun conjunct Juno is about union. But um it's that could also be about work and other stuff, it doesn't need to be about love. So take it out if it resonates. It's time to do what you've been putting off. So what might that be? And let's see if you actually move forward after the meditation tonight. So make a commitment. There's that word, Sun conjunct Juno. Make a commitment to yourself to begin your journey. Though it might seem scary, know that beyond your horizon awaits something more wonderful than you can know in these present moments. No one is ever truly ready at their first steps. It's not perfection that we seek, but a life lived fully. Absolutely love it, geeking out like I was last night. That is exactly why I do this. The card that came out last night, the bit I got up to was baby steps, take the first step. But this card is saying the same thing. What have you been putting off? How does it feel? So this is a journaling prompt if you want it. So how does it feel to start your new adventure today? Take some time to list all of the wonderful things that will come to you on this new journey. There's so much to look forward to. So that is amazing. So that was Divine Feminine's card. So that can be for you. I actually know where that can fit for me with a lot of things. Because I'm going to jump to my highest timeline when I'm channeling it for all use. But like I said, I felt very strongly that's the masculine, preparing to start a new chapter in their life. And like I said, it doesn't need to be in love. This can be in other areas of life, but it feels very much like love with what's coming up here. Right, so what we got for the masculine? So remember, if any of those things that I saw in the book come out, that'll be interesting. You're worthy, you're wanted. If you're worthy and you're wanted don't come out, it's still relevant because the feminine's card also said, I need you. So, and that's the funny thing about that, right? When a masculine's in distorted energy, saying I need you to them can be like, whoa, this is too heavy, it's too much pressure. You know what I mean? I've already got a lot of pressure in my life. I don't need somebody else needing me. Like, this is needy and all that. Like, because karmic energies are typically usually very needy and codependent. So if you've had an experience like that, it's because that's funny. Someone's paging somebody and it says help with the pager. So that's kind of nuts. It's by the way I tread. I don't know the rest of the words. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I just know it's called By the Way. Yeah, but once you've healed that and you're the divine masculine, actually, a woman that says they need you, especially one you're in love with, that is what healed divine masculine energy wants, because men typically, when they're in that healed energy, do want to feel needed. But you see, it's a different type in needing. Like when you're in the distorted energy, you can be needy of attention, and that's when, like, sometimes one person isn't enough because you just thrive all this attention from it, and that's not just men. Let's pick on the women too. There can be some fucking pick me women like that too. Um, and you can heal that is the point. So if you recognize that in yourself, I could help you heal that. But some people want to stay that way. And see, I think that's a message about you've got to leave people where they are. You know what I mean? And if they want to do the work, they will. Whether that's your twin flame or a friend or a family member, or you know what I mean? You can't do people's work for them. You can hold space and pray for them if they're going down a dark route in life, but you can't do the work for them. What have we got for the masculine? Be pre- oh, it has come out. I'm going to read them both. Wow. Be present, and that's what the other card just said. Find clarity in the moment. And I feel that full moon right after the new year on the 3rd. I think it's the 3rd. It's a full moon in Cancer. So here's a heads up, that's going to be emotional because Cancer is ruled by the moon and Cancer is mother energy, feelings, family. But it's basically hashtag all the feels. So, as if anybody needs that. I'm sure I said that in the shorts. It was quite funny actually. When I channeled the shorts for then, I didn't even click it was the full moon, but this is what fascinates me. It was like it was quite obvious it was the full moon I was channeling, but I hadn't actually looked to see that it was the full moon because I was just wanting to get them all done. So that was quite interesting the way that happened too. Um, anyway, so be present, find clarity in the moment. You're wanted. There is a home waiting within. Beautiful. I pulled that card for someone in the membership last night. Was that not you, Charlotte? I feel like I pulled that for someone. That card always reminds me of Interstellar because I don't know why. It just reminds me of the end of the film when there's like the wee house looks like that. And I channeled about this loads, but it feels very relevant to the energy that we're the very galactic energy that we're in. Because I've said this before, and I've never ever seen anyone else saying this. In that film, they mention the fifth dimension. I mean, that film is amazing. It's really trippy, but they do actually mention the fifth dimension. It's quite interesting because that came out like ages ago. But yeah, it's particularly romantic because again, oh yeah, because it goes with the theme. He's in denial. And it's not till right at the end when the daughter's like, no, because it's complicated, but the daughter is dying. She's an old woman, and the dad is like older than her, but he still looks like he's 30 or something. And she's like, no parent should have to see their child die. Go and get her. And he's like, who? And she's like, I don't even think she needs to say, you know who. I think he just makes his way to go and get her in fucking outer space, wherever she is. Like, um, look, retreat, rest, refuel, fill your well. Yep, that people are in those fields. Right, okay, let's read these cards. So I'm just going to get going after. I'm going to aim to go at 10 after do a wee bit more cards. So, oh, I keep saying go. I'm not going. I'm going to do the meditation. Please, somebody remind me. I'm not going. I'm switching into doing the meditation, and I'll set the. I need. It's because I need to set the alarm for going into membership, which might not be that long tonight, people, because do what you need to do. Today, ask yourself, is there an act of beneficial self-care that you've been putting off because it isn't something you want to do? This is your sign to do what you need to do for yourself now. I just opened the book at that. That felt like very needed as well. Right. Free. The only time we possess is the time we are presently in. While it is prudent to plan for the future and wise to remember the past, the present is where our life truly resides. If we outsource our happiness to future plans or past memories, then we lose the gift of the present day. This is for the masculine. These are totally on point. In the end, our life will amount to the collection of our many small moments, the moments of the everyday. If you've pulled this card, then it may be time to focus on what is in front of you now. And that's why, this is going to sound quite harsh, but as magical and mystical as this twin flame journey is, that is true. It is the wee everyday moments that make up your life. And the present moment is all that counts. But in the sort of Blue Christmas just came on when I said that. But yeah, that's relevant. Blue Christmas, Elvis. But like I've often said, if you're living out the moments of your life, day after day, year after year, decade after decade in some people's cases, and this person isn't in your everyday life enjoying the little moments, and you're having a blue Christmas and a blue New Year, which can be worse because it's about kissing the one you love at the bells. You know what I mean? It's something to think about there. I know it's pointing out the obvious, but that is what springs to mind. Um, and it's very like a lot of the films I spoke about recently, like Jack Frost the other day. And even that episode of The Office I've just watched today, because Jim's taken Pam for granted. And Jim and Pam are like the big love story of The Office. Like, so it's kind of I didn't like watching it that they were arguing, and it's fine, they've made up now. So um bring your awareness to your body and your surroundings. Try not to let your mind drift forward to future tasks or past memories. That's funny when we're about to jump to the future. Let everything fall away and just be. Notice where you are and how you feel. and focus on the details of this present moment as an artist would. Look at the light, shapes, shadows, colours, and textures of what is before you. Once you've connected to the present, take time to ask yourself if there's anything that needs to come forward now. You can also just rest in the space, enjoying the beauty of your present moment. And side note, if you want to actually do a future life progression or a past life regression, that is one of the sessions that I'm going to be putting on offer. So, and basically that will be a lot more money, possibly even double what I'm going to put it out for. Because I was actually just going to put it out at the price it's going to be. And then I thought, it's been that price for a while, so I'll leave it at what it is before I change it. But I'll be changing it in January because they take ages. Like, because it's about really getting into that frequency of the new earth energy, and it's just yeah, it's, you have to be in a real sort of deep space. And if you want to see when I done that with someone, there's a video where I done that with Lexi. I'll put that in the comments. Like, it's just a snippet of it, basically. So, right. What do you feel when you practice presence? Are there any feelings or sensations that arise during this practice that may stop you from being fully present? If so, sit with these feelings and ask yourself where they might be coming from. Note, the practice of presence can be life-changing. If you become overwhelmed at all during this practice, please take a step back and resume where you're ready. Yeah, because the thing is, there's a very good reason why a lot of people don't like being still or meditating. And if you know astrology, why you don't like when the moon is in the water signs and stuff, because that's when a lot of your trauma can arise. So that's why people do like to keep busy. I think, I think you'd be lying if you said you didn't know somebody, at least of the older generation, or this could be some of you watching, where somebody's always buzzing around busy like a blue arse fly. And a lot of the time that is because nobody was taught how to deal with their feelings, you know what I mean? Unless they did go on a healing path and go and get help and stuff, but a lot of people haven't. Some people have, because I work with people right up in their 70s. So it's not everyone, but some people just, counselling, what's that shite? Therapy, I don't need that, you know what I mean? I think we all know somebody like that. So you're wanted. Abandonment. Oh my God, this is what came up on day one. Abandonment is a wound that many of us carry, and this is the masculine's card, but it's also the feminine's masculine side. It's a tender place within us that mourns at the prospect of rejection. Such a sweetheart beats within those who have experienced the pain of being unwanted. Be gentle with yourself in the presence of this pain. At our core, we all crave connection and to be drawn into the embrace of a beloved soul. The exercise for this card is quite gentle in nature, but it will require you to be exceptionally vulnerable with yourself. I recommend doing this in front of a mirror, but if a mirror is unavailable or it detracts from your ability to complete the exercise, please skip this step. So obviously you can do this later, unless you're by a mirror and you want to. Find a comfortable place and reflect on a touch that speaks to your abandoned inner child. For me, this touch is when someone cups the side of my face. Once you've found the touch that brings to life these tender places within, give that touch to yourself. Let yourself fall deep into the feeling of your hands on your skin, much as you would with a trusted friend or lover. If you are in front of a mirror, I would like you to I would like you to look into your eyes and tell yourself that you will never. Oh, this is interesting. I read this in the membership only just last night, and I remember feeling I want to read this in public. So it's funny it came out anyway. Especially because when that's people in masculine energy, you see, that's why I had that feeling I needed to read it in public too, but it came out anyway. Maybe I was having the vision that it was going to come out. Yes, I would like you to look in the mirror, your eyes, and tell yourself that you will never leave you and that you will never abandon yourself, that you will never walk away, and that it is you, beloved, and me until the very end. But what's quite powerful about that is when you look in the mirror as a twin flame anyway, you're saying that to yourself, but you're also saying it to your twin flame. So it is you, beloved, and me until the very end. If you do not have a mirror, close your eyes and say these words. Know that you are your own home and that it is waiting within. And that's why what this journey is really all about is when you sorry, I'm getting distracted by Boobly. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. La 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 la. That's why it's like, you know, when the masculine decides to wake up and do the work, they are devastated because they look at everything completely differently. And that's, I'm not just talking, I know it always comes through like I'm talking about men because it's just the way it comes through, but I've worked with so many women that are being like that too, that they don't realize till much later. And it's all to do with how you feel about yourself. Um, when you start loving yourself, like really, and not like for show, like you really love yourself, you will then look at your twin flame differently because you are the same energy. Um, how does your inner child feel after hearing that you will never leave them? Do they feel loved and seen? Is there anything that they need at this moment? So that's your journaling prompts. Oh, lovely. Right. Okay. So, and prayers for anyone that might be feeling in a bit of a more sensitive place. Right. So, there's so many cards I want to use, but we'll need to stop it somewhere. So, what have we got? My galactic kind of cards. Are we going to get one about the new Earth? That would be interesting. What do we need to know about what's coming up with this new moon? So, typically speaking, I don't know why I keep saying typically, but anyway, I do say that quite a lot, but I keep saying typically. This could be classed as the dark moon, but really, because the new moon for us in the UK isn't until Saturday, I would really say we're in the new moon tomorrow and Friday. Sorry, we're in the dark moon tomorrow and Friday. And the dark moon is about the shadow. But actually, for those of you in other parts of the world, this could be your dark moon because in some parts of the world, the new moon is Friday. So, because for us in the UK, it's 1:43 in the morning. They just missed the 1:44. Um, so really, when we're wrapping this up on Friday, uh, you know, that's just right before the new moon. Before you set sail on an adventure, the adventure awaits. Maybe quite literally for some people, but that could just be an adventure, a healing adventure, or it could be a physical adventure, or it could be moving out your comfort zone. On and on and on. Right, so what have we got? Activated Earth. Totally. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. Yes, trust where you're led. So those of you that have been with me a while, you'll know that a few years back I was guided to go to Roslyn Chapel. I'm very connected to Roslyn Chapel, and because obviously that's in the Da Vinci Code, which I can never normally remember the name of, but it rolled off my tongue there, and Mary Magdalene and everything, I feel very connected to there. So I often do just get led there just randomly. I was actually there this year on my birthday, and that was the first. Was that this year? Crimea Rivers just. Why is it all Bublé? Oh, it's Michael Bublé, King of Christmas. Now it's Crimea. Oh no, that's Justin. Why don't you cry me a river? Cry me a river. I cried a river over you. I don't know, something like that, isn't it? Or cry me a river. That's JT though. But um, yeah, that was pretty profound, that experience. Was it last year or was it this year? I feel like it was, no, it was this year, wasn't it? I went, it was, my birthday was on, no, it was this year. My birthday was on Good Friday, and I always feel Good Friday a very heavy energy anyway. And then it was no different. It was just a really heavy day. But what was beautiful about it was I'd never been, no, wait a minute, that can't be right. Because I feel like I've been down there twice now. Oh no, maybe we went another time this year. Yeah, that was the first time I ever there. That's why I thought, you know what? Although it was not a very nice day, what was special about it was that that was the first time I ever went down to the crypt, and I'd been there before. I just hadn't went down. And as you walk down the steep steps, it's this big, massive picture of Jesus, like on the stained glass window. So it felt, and I felt as I was going down, I felt like I was like carrying the divine masculine, all of the people that are in heavy energy, like releasing that or praying for them at least. And then when I was walking up, I felt like it was like letting a bit go. Um, kind of deep, isn't it? That's very Black Moon, Lilith, and Scorpio. Um, but yeah, so anyway, I'm saying that because that's like the rose line. So I feel the ley lines in different parts of the world. Like I feel very connected to New York too. Like I'm not just saying it, like it's not like I love New York, but and I've been twice, but both times I went I was ill. And at first I thought it was the like the flying, like the plane, because I'm so sensitive. Because my ears, and I'm not talking about when your ears pop. I'm talking about like knives in your ear, like what some little kids get. It's agony, and I feel it's because I'm so sensitive and being up. I don't know, but um, so yeah, I was really quite ill. I mean, actually, the second time I went, because the first time I went with my family, and then the second time I went with just my sister, and I think my sister thought I was like about to die basically because I had some weird flu bug and I like couldn't keep in and down. I was throwing up. It was all pretty no the other end too, it was horrible. Actually that's I was about to tell you another story, but that's not a story for YouTube, but it is really funny. That's just one of my close ones get to hear, but it was it was funny. um, um close call. But yeah, I was lying in the bed and I had no life in me. It was, but I do think it's like, I don't know, I feel I was tapping into some weird past life energy because I feel very connected to Lilydale. Like that's just outside of New York, and that's like a whole village of mediums. To be honest, I don't know that I'd really ever want to go there because it looks really creepy, but it looks like mystical magic. Like basically, when I used to go on Periscope, like there used to be loads of mediums that would do live streams. They maybe still is Periscope still a thing? I don't even know if that's still a thing. But there used to be loads of people that would live stream from there, and it looked fake. It looked like I don't know, it looked like a fucking painting or something. But I don't know, it had a bit of a creepy vibe. But I feel like I've been there in a past life or something. It's just basically you're only allowed to live in that community if you're a medium. So it's like, behind a wee gate, and that kind of sounds like a cult though, doesn't it? But it's got a wee spiritist church, and but yeah, I probably would want to go. If somebody would want to go with me, I probably would want to go. But for time lucky guys, and I will come and see some of my friends that live nearby. But yeah. So lots of you will know. I mean, I'm a grid worker, so lots of you'll be a grid worker too, and you'll just get guided to. We'll just leave Bubbly on. You're na 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 na. You're everything. So if I just keep singing Bubbly, you know why? It's King of Christmas. What else have we got? Oh, my favorite card in the whole decks, and this is like three decks together. Warrior Woman. If you were afraid, what would you do? Oh, that would be quite a good one. That would be a good one for the. Wait a minute. The hot guy card might need to go. Wait a minute. That's very in line with the challenge. You know what I mean? If you're afraid, what would you do? Because it reminds me of. I don't know if it's meant to be Joan of Arc, but it reminds me of Joan of Arc, and that's the frequency that I hold, which is why I'm good at doing this stuff. So yeah, I feel very much. It's like if you weren't afraid, what would you do? What are you stalling for? What are you holding off on in business? What are you holding off in love? What are you settling for in love because you're too afraid to go for what you want? What are you holding back for speaking up from the karmic people in your life? Here for a good time, not a long time. In the sense that we've not got one life, we've got many lives. But if you're anything like me, this is my last life. I am not coming back. I've had enough. Oh, oh my gosh. What the fuck? Now that is something I'm not. We just had that. We just had the lineup with the Seven Sisters and the Pleiades or something. Don't ask me when it was, but I'm very connected to the blue. The blue Kachina is like basically is all the Hopi Prophecy, the Rainbow Warriors. That's why my membership's called Rainbow Warriors and all that kind of stuff. But I'm very connected to like blue energy, like Pleiades and Archangel Michael and all that kind of stuff. And so a lot of you will be too. Well, obviously because I'm a blue ray as well. But I've just pulled the Seven Sisters, birthing creation's tapestry of life expression, but it leapt out with the reunion, soul recognition, collaboration, partnership, friendship. Right? Oh my god, where's that card? That's so in line with the title, Sun conjunct Juno. soul recognition. And look what I just said about when you love yourself properly, you'll recognize your twin flame, you'll see them in a different light. Collaboration, partnership, friendship. And that's the thing for a real lasting relationship. That is what you want to have first. Oh, that's why I always say they're speaking through me. What are the chances? Look at all of them. There was the next card, the blue flame. Oh, and I said this too, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. Right, I want these. I want that, and also the one that's. Wait a minute. I want them all, don't I? Where's that? Actually, I need a combination. I'm waking up. That's quite powerful. Spontaneous awakening with I'm waking up. The union. And then I'll just leave the seven sisters out. There we go. Boom, the thumbnail. Yeah. Is anyone still here? It's been really quiet again. Yeah. I think that's the winner. Right, let's get a few more out here and then I'm going to go into the meditation. Anything else we need to know from this? Maybe one more deck. So yes, it's everything I've already said, and that's why I always say I could sit and channel out the cards because I did channel all that out the cards. There's going to be huge spontaneous awakenings going on personally, but also collectively with this new moon. So as soon as the weekend, you could have a drastic turnaround in the way that you look at certain things and certain people for good or bad reasons. Definitely, I feel that's the frequency and the energy I've been picking up on people waking up to false twin flames and true twin flames. If that's a thing for anyone out there, which it is for some, that's definitely going on already and will be with that activation at that new moon and with the solstice. Um, release the petals. Oh wow. And that's quite funny because like what was thinking in my head was what I was gonna say was that's why like, when it comes to forgiveness, you could be like, how the fuck are we ever gonna get over this? But it's like it's hard to explain this in words because I'm very telepathic. So I don't, although I have, although I talk a lot with Chandler, but it's kind of like, remember, I spend a lot of time alone too, and I'm in silence a lot. The best way I could put this into words is this very galactic energy and like morphing into our light bodies and all that and ascending and stuff. And like it's like the slate's going to be wiped clean. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, if you don't get what I mean, you're not meant to get what I mean right now. People that get what I mean will get what I mean. It's not like forget the past in a toxic way, like, oh, I don't want to talk about the past. Like it's, let's just move forward. And that's toxic. You've got to talk about the past, right? But up to a point and then let it go to be happy. Don't like, because that's what I say. One of my pet hates is if somebody just keeps going on and on about the past. But to be fair, if somebody keeps going on and on about the past, it's probably because there was never any closure put to it. So it's good that you just have a heart to heart. You get, and this is sounds like I'm talking about love, but that could be with friends or family or whatever. But yeah, there's a huge ending energy coming up here. And like I always share the same podcast I've shared for like 11 years now. Must be that. I don't know if it's 11 years, but it's got to be like fucking 8 or 9. And it's this podcast called Seasons, and I'll find it because I always post it. But I always listen to it whenever I post it because you can never hear it too much. It's only like it's the whole thing's like 40 minutes, but it's really 20 minutes when you skip the adverts and all that. And basically, he describes how he's talking about grief and all of that, and he describes a funny example of when people were grieving a logo at a business, and it's like he's laughing, but it's true. Like you can really grieve anything, like change. Like a lot of people don't like change because he gives the example of his kid going from like I don't know college to I think it's maybe high school to college or something like that. So it makes you think. Um, yeah. Release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. I forgot that card even said all change there. And I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. So yeah, I do feel this is, huge apologies coming in between twin flames. And like I was saying, I feel when there's an apology going one way, there's usually apologies going both ways. I can't really think of too many, there will be some, I'm sure there will be some people out there, but it's like, oh no, they need to apologize to me. I'm struggling to see what I did wrong there. But believe me, there's a few things I could think about that with my connection too. But I definitely do feel there are things that I would want to say sorry for as well. And more than just on here, for fuck's sake, you know what I mean? It's you know what I mean. So just think about that, you know what I mean? But it's more like when you're a twin flame, like the way that I see it is like, look, I was born for these times. Like I can't tell you how many people that pick up an energy like me have said to me before they even knew who I really was, like that I'm here to birth the new earth, which of course I am, but also that like I'm anchoring in the new earth timelines, and that's why a lot of the time I might not have clients for ages because nobody's ready for the work that I provide. Not nobody, because obviously I do have clients. I do have clients, but there sometimes can be very quiet periods, and it is that it's because I've been building all these skills up for the past plus 10 years plus to be ready for this. And so this is quite deep, right? But I'm saying this for other people this might apply to. Like that thing, what would you do if you weren't afraid? If you think about it, the fact that I started this at 30, like talking about ascension and new earth and everything, right back then when I started, and I didn't dilly dally about it, you know what I mean? I did take longer to confess that I'm a twin flame healer only, but I've been doing that now for what, 4 or 5 years. But it's kind of like, because it was always that behind the scenes. But the fact is, like, I've not been afraid to talk about things that are really unique and different, like the new earth and ascension and that, when many other people would have been quite scared. They might maybe kind of hid it a little bit, and I didn't do that. And trust me, like I would observe myself think, well, that's pretty fucking weird. Where's that coming from? But I just trusted it. Like again, I've been saying the whole time the money system's going to collapse and change. And I didn't know what I was saying. I was just getting all the codes and the downloads of it, and I still do. But I feel we're very close to that happening. Um, and of course, I'm not the only person that says that now. There's loads of people that say that. But I was saying it like all those years ago. And then it was funny because when we done Lexi's future life progression, her higher self brought through something like that. And remember what I said about this, although Lexi is very psychic, that could actually be any of you. So some of the most grounded people watching me, as long as you allow me to put you in hypnosis, your higher self could come and tell us something about the new earth too. So that's why I'm excited about those sessions. And it's also why there will be a lot more money, because there's not really too many people that can do that, and with those skills. And it's because it takes a long time as well. It takes hours and hours. So because it's like, if you know quantum helium hypnosis as well, that's what I do. But it's just like, that's Dolores Cannon, and that Lost song's on again. And we'll get lost together if you feel all alone. Babe, you're my one. I'm just making up the words now because the other day I didn't even, was it just yesterday actually? I didn't even know if I knew it, but it's a nice song. Right, anyway. But yeah, no, I don't know, something made me think about that yesterday, that really was quite brave of me. Because, when I started this, I had a whole different set of friends and stuff, and I've still got some of the same friends, but a lot I haven't. And, obviously my family would have thought it was weird, and obviously whoever else was watching would have thought it was weird, but I didn't let that stop me, because that's how much of a twin flame mission I've come here to be on. And not just twin flames, it's to help a lot, to help humanity, you know what I mean? Well, that's yeah. I think that's my Sag moon talking. It's not conjunct it yet, but it's getting there. So me, I've been snoozing while you've been talking. That's fine. You'll be out like a light when I do the meditation. One more, I think, from here. The Oh my God, they're showing off now. They are really showing off. We've just got the reunion, and now we've got the bud. Potential promise. It's about to happen. Keep going. Also, I put keep going in the post. That might be reaching a bit, but I did put keep going. But you see, so this is definitely about twin flames that have really sacrificed a lot to, like, yeah, sacrificed a lot for humanity, basically. Because, like I've said before, like, who knows, I could have actually sacrificed my own union. Like, you know what I mean? I hope not, but you know what I mean? It wouldn't be that hard to believe. I definitely have at some points, because I definitely recognized, felt it energetically. He's nowhere near where I am. and God knows when he's going to be. But I have to do what I've got to do to help people because I know what I'm here to do, and I just hope that he catches me up when he's ready, and I still believe he will. But yeah, it's about to happen. That is about some of the unions, absolutely. So let go of the timing because time is an illusion anyway. But that is also about it's about to happen. A breakthrough in your business, you know, pushing through a fear, letting go of an addiction. Because that's, that is the other thing that when we're doing this week, because everything I do is like deliverance, I'm holding space. And believe me, I'll share that a little bit further down the line, but um I am really putting in a huge effort behind the scenes. I mean, I always do. I'm always praying and fasting and stuff, but I'm putting in a huge effort behind the scenes that I'll share about later down the line what I mean about that. But because it helps, when I know a lot of you will have people in your life that care about you, but some people out there you feel like you don't have anyone that cares about you. So hopefully that's why I'm saying it, that it's like hopefully that makes you feel a little bit less lost and alone, that at least one person's like doing that for if you're connected to the channel. I can't help the other people that aren't connected to the channel because but I think I can though, because the love's going out whenever. And that film Lost is just ending when I'm saying that. Inner winter, rest, patience, potency, secret beginnings. Oh, this is feeling very clandestine, very twin flame. This is very last degrees of Black Moon, Lilith, and Scorpio. So yeah, if it was the Scorpio moon still too, it really would be as well. And so let it snow's just come on. So I feel for someone, right? And who knows when this is going to be, because I don't think it's meant to snow anytime soon that I'm aware of. I remember I channeled a few weeks ago, someone's union was going to happen when it was like icy, sleety rain, like really cold and icy, sleety. I had that vision. And someone else's is going to happen when it's snowing. So, that might not come about until next year, or that might, who knows? But let's just see, because when it goes from like mild to, you know what I mean? But yeah, secret beginnings. So maybe somebody's secret union's happening in the snow. Right, I think we'll just use some more galactic cards, and then I'm going to do the meditation because, quite frankly, guys, I could really go to sleep right now. Like, and that was my plan. I thought that's why I stayed awake and watched, because I've not been doing that. Just to put you in the picture, the last 2 days I've literally slept right until I came on here. So I thought, right, I'm not doing that because it's actually torture when I can't sleep at night. So hopefully I'm just sufficiently knackered enough to go to sleep, because it's these codes coming in and that as well. They're really powerful. Right, so I didn't lose the deck, but I put it through there and I forgot about it. So what have we got? Because I've mentioned the Hopi Prophecy and the blue energy, right? But and I'm really blown away that the cards that came out. But this has also got ones about rainbow because it's to do with rainbows. But like, yeah, I carry that diamond rainbow frequency too. So um I feel something like that might come out. So let's get a card for the divine feminine and masculine feminine side. Shine. How perfect is that? Yes, shine. Shine, divine feminine. Because it's when you shine, and I know it's cheesy, I cringe at myself when I'm saying this, but when you shine and you do your thing, you are lighting the way for your twin flame. They might not consciously realize it for quite some time. Believe me, I know. But then they will, and then they'll get it. And that's what I'm saying. It's like that's weird because I just haven't met you yet, come on. And I think and that's in the terms of I just haven't woke up to that part of me yet. You know what I mean? Because I've said this before, but they're guiding me to say that again. Somebody channeled that to me a few years ago, that it's like me and mine made a deal that I would wake up like, 10 years plus before him. And that's nowhere to lie, is it? But I could really I could really I do think that's complex because he definitely, I mean, he mentioned it to me first that we had a weird connection. And he said it in a nice way, in a nice moment, you know what I mean? And I was kind of, oh my God. Yeah, I think that too, but I didn't know you thought that. So do you know what I mean? It's kind of, but then he went totally back to sleep on it. It was like he retracted what he just said. I had a few moments like that with him. Allow nothing to dim the light within you. Allow yourself to shine. Yeah, allow nothing to dim the light within you, Divine Feminine, because you came here to shine. And if you try to hold yourself back, even for your twin flame, you're not doing what you came here to do. So allow yourself to shine. But that is also the divine masculine, feminine side. You need to allow your light to shine wherever you've dimmed your light to fit in with other people. Right. One for divine masculine. And there is divine masculine cards in this. There's a silver fox man. Oh, there's one of the divine masculines. Apprentice. So there he is. Look, that's the divine masculine learning all there is to know about the twin flame journey and learning whatever things they're guided to learn or waking up to their past lives. Inspired learning is the call of the soul in pursuit of self mastery. Be courageous with your emerging talents. Hello. When I'm doing a challenge about your emerging talents or heightening gifts, talents, yeah, if it hasn't started happening already, you know, you could have a big activation of dormant gifts that have lay there for a while. And that's what I help people with anyway in all my sessions. But that's what's going to be happening with the spontaneous awakening energy. And you'll be celebrating. Yeah, I feel with that card about the guy learning and this, it's like that's I'm see, this is definitely I'm here for this. This I'm lost for words. So somebody's gonna be lost for words with this. Someone's gonna be lost for words at the transformation. Again, I feel like I want to say, don't put pressure on yourself if you are the masculines, male or females, and you're got a way to go. But I feel there really is a celebration going on for the masculines that you've been putting a lot of effort in your healing because it's in that scene in that video where they're all celebrating and all the confetti's falling down. Um, and that is his wife as well, actually. You know what I mean in that video. So it's like that's quite funny. That's quite deep, isn't it? I just haven't met you yet, and I'm sure that is his real wife. So there's something about union again with the Juno conjunct the sun. Celebrate. The energy of excitement is in the air, and I don't just think that's Christmas. Announcements, connections, and celebrations bring unity and joy. Unity, union. Yeah, there's exciting energy. That's why they made me find those cards. Visionary. Yeah, a lot of divine masculine energy is male and female. You're a visionary. So you might have like sort of put it on your divine feminine that they're the visionary, but you're a visionary too. You have the capacity to envision what's possible, especially if you've got some heavy Sagittarius, because that is like future energy, you know. Right, okay, so we'll just get one of these, I think. And oh, if that twin flame card comes out of here, that'll be Christmas. Yeah, look, now it's white Christmas. I do think doesn't white Christmas is talking about when it happens on Christmas Day, isn't it? But it doesn't necessarily need to be that. I'm just really feeling something about the snow. Although it could be meaning Christmas, I don't know. So because now they're pulling me at the Christmas tree. This is just different bits and bobs of people's stuff. Uh, there's only one card in this. It's about twin flames. So if it comes out, they're just really out to wow us tonight. No, it's not that one. But, and even that, so communication, co-creation, 21, yeah. So that's the karmic cycles ending. Like I said, the toxic karmic cycles in relationships are coming to an end, or you're being guided to put that to an end, whoever might resonate with being in a toxic relationship or a friendship or anyone in life. And it's about co-creating and also letting these higher beings, light beings and stuff, support the energies of the new earth paradigm, the new earth, new energies that we're bringing in. But look, new blueprints. So, and look at all the blue. So let's read this. And then see the big blue star above our head as well. Right, actually, I think I'll put the wee. Oh, no, no, I'm not. God, why do I keep doing that? Maybe I'm meant to go in the membership and come back. Nah, nah, I'm not doing that. I was going to say maybe I'm meant to go in the membership, come back and do the meditation, but I'm not. Maybe I am meant to do that because then I would do it at 11 and then I would just get off. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that because actually think about it. Charlotte, you'll fall asleep. There'll be nobody in the membership. And then it might give people like Lexi and stuff more time because it's not late for them. Charlotte, do you think you'll still be awake if we? Well, yeah, basically, well, it doesn't matter if you're not. You can always watch it tomorrow. But I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to go in the membership, right? So let's set a wee timer, and then I'm going to come back and do the meditation because then it'll be in a separate live stream, and you can just watch the meditation basically. Although the whole point is this has relaxed you. I can't decide. Actually, what I might do though is I might record it on Zoom. I've never done that before. I always forget. Oh, God, I can't decide. Nah, I'm just going to do it on this. I'm not doing that. Right. So, why is that not the card? Oh, 38. So, be the change, take action, take us. Oh my God, this is insane. Why do I always get shocked? Because this is what happens every single time since the very beginning of time when I started this over 10 years ago. The wording in this card is exactly what the challenge is about, and specifically like today. Be the change, take action, take a step, no matter how small. And I'm going on about baby steps. Ignite an upward spiral. Make a positive change, ethics and compassion, creating a ripple of light. Gobsmacked much? Be the change you wish to see. Now, I don't know about any use, but that's one of my favourite sayings. So I'd imagine it's some of yours. Is an empowering mantra to remind us that we can step up and create the blueprints for the world we want to know. Powerful, meaningful change starts with you today. And that's why I always say you can wake up every morning and decide to be a different person if you want. Like, what's stopping you? You know what I mean? Is it, a lot of time it's other people's expectations and, oh my God, what would they say? Like, who gives a fuck? Wake up and be yourself. As long as you're moving with good intentions and you're doing what's right for you and you're not like doing it to hurt anyone, let people be shocked. And that's why I think they made me say that about when I first jumped on and started doing the live streams. Like I've said before, but it's relevant. It was weird for people because it was very out of character. Like I was a lot of the time known as the shy friend. So for the shy friend to be jumping on a live stream and giving it the big one and talking about all this stuff and even really showing my mediumship and everything, that was kind of weird for people. But I guess they just had to get used to it. And the people that weren't used to it, well, they're not in my life. You know what I mean? Um, but it's that's complicated anyway because there wasn't anyone that directly said they had a problem with it, but the vibe did change, and that took away over time. Like I definitely felt whenever I'd done different things, like it was always particularly on Instagram, I always felt like the friends that I had at the time I just recognize everything. Like I would notice who was like liking, who wasn't it, who wasn't, or who I could just feel all the judgment and all of that. And I couldn't stand it. And it's like people could still tune in here, but I mean, you need to fucking get a life to be if you're watching somebody to be not sending them good energy or like having a nosy. But other than people, because it's like one of my best pals is like people will definitely look, but they'll never admit to it. I'm like, oh, I know, but it's like they're not going to do it all the time because if anyone does do it out there all the time, you would really need to reevaluate your life. And sorry to say it with a bit of sass, but that is the Black Mirror of Scorpio. You know what I mean? Especially if you're sending negative energy. If it's helping, that's a different story. But if it's to kind of send shitty energy, then go and spend your time doing something better. Um, Anyway, despite our desire to see change, we can be overwhelmed by all that is going on in the world and making a positive impact to seem impossible. It's healthy to have an interest in what is happening around us, but it's important not to become so disheartened that we can't find the inner light to ignite even the tiniest upward spiral of improvement, which is exactly what I've been going on about the past 3 days and really all the time. Just do anything because it's putting in an effort. You know what I mean? It's putting in a bit of fight for your life. To maybe in some cases, maybe it is that deep, but you know what I mean? Like, we didn't come here to just stay the same all the time. It's boring. That's why twin flames are interesting. It adds a bit of spice, you know, it adds a bit of excitement being that different. Um, I think you can look at it a different way. And again, I really do feel on the twin flame journey because I've helped that many people with it. It's because I'm on it. I feel that is why the masculines, you know, do go towards somebody that's more like them in that energy because it's like it's less scary and less demanding. You don't need to change. Whereas you do when somebody is different from you, you know, you do have to you do have to try a little bit harder. But like I said, I'd rather be putting in the effort to do that than be fucking bored with somebody that's exactly the same. Home's just come on. I wanna go home. That's a masculine. I wanna go home. I'm just too far from where you are. Let me go home. Home to myself. Um, there is still so much natural beauty on this incredible blue planet, blue again, and there's an organization, solo game changers, creating amazing transformations all the time. Shift your focus on what is possible rather than what isn't. Stepping forward with action, however small, will benefit the vibration of the planet in some way. That's what this week's all about, really. It's ascension. Twin flame ascension to be exact, but if you're not on the twin flame journey and you decided to take part in this, you'll benefit. But the people that are meant to do it will do it. The other people will be like, what the fuck's she doing? What's that? We have more of a voice than we realize. As consumers present with someone or smile at those we share a path with, small acts create a ripple of goodness in the world. Oh, that just went off and on again. Yeah, like me saying, if you want to jump on a 15-minute almost free call, it's a small donation. Take me up on the offer. Or, you know, book a session, or you can do both. Have the wee 15-minute chat and then book a session. You do you, boo. Consider how all beings can co-inhabit this glorious planet. Could you design a blueprint for ethical, compassionate, heart-centered living? What would the guardians of this earth need to do, need to be? How would they feel about themselves? And what can you do to uphold this? This card inspires action, no matter how small, that will create a ripple of light in the world. And that's what this week is all about. I know I just said that, but I'm repeating it again. You're part of a bigger picture, a greater story, and your actions, your choices, your presence are making a difference. You have more power than you realize. Focus on what you can do and do it well. Change takes time. So make plans and just start now. Or what I always say, hashtag messy action can lead to great things. If you read some of the comments that I'm not going to lie, right? Usually every year, it's not self-sabotage, but usually every year it's like I just end up like copy and pasting the same reviews like I do a lot of the time in general. I try to change it up, but some weeks I can't be arsed. Like, see, over Christmas in the year, I'll probably just copy and paste the same ones. I'll just take it from the video before. But I did think quite carefully about it for each video, for each prompt video, and each live stream. Well, I don't know about live streams. I don't know about live streams because I haven't watched them back, but I'm just sort of hazarding, I guess. But um, but for the prompt videos, like I made sure I got some of the reviews from the previous challenges over the past 5 years, and also ones with clients that fit with what was coming through with those cards. Um, so do read the reviews. You know, don't assume that it's the same. I mean, lots of you will have read some of these hundreds and hundreds of times, but you know, because it's, you know, there's not been a lot about business stuff that's come into this. But remember, that is when I run the challenge again in a couple of months. That is what it's going to be focused on. And but here's a wee bit of business stuff. You know, I'm sure loads of you will have heard this before, but apparently it's somebody needs to see your stuff on average 7 times. It might even be like 7 to 12 times, but I'm sure it's at least 7 times to even have a chance at like getting on your radar. And I'm feeling good. Do 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 do. That's a masculine feeling good. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. It was a little bit different from the Dark Night of the Soul I was channeling the other day, but yeah, tense energy. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the meditation, and I'm going to have to really keep an eye on the mic to make sure it doesn't die while I'm doing it. But if you are still with me, you know what's really interesting? I'm just going to check on my phone. I don't know if there is only 2 people watching right now or more, because it always just says random shit like 2 people, 5 people, and then I get off and it's like 70 people have watched it, or like it was maybe like 60 people, and but now it was it's around that. So it's like the optical illusion. Right, let's see. I don't think I'll be in the membership very long, guys, but I'll make it up to you tomorrow. Um, what was I going to, I can't remember what I was going to do. Yeah, I just wanted to see how many people it said. Nah, it does say 2 people. That'll be interesting after. I'm just actually going to check from my other one. Let's see. Now it says 3 people. So it's so I don't know why that is, but a lot of people watch my stuff on replay. Do you know what I mean? I know you're still here. You're always by my side, Charlotte. You're loyal. You're my ride or die, and I see you. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that is the truth then. That is kind of funny. It's like don't know why it's quieter tonight, but we'll just roll with it. Right. So I'm just going to make sure my other phone doesn't go off. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. I know some of the words. Oh God. Oh, I didn't need that. Oh my God. Wait a minute, I'll crop my. No, that's too risky. I'm trying to crop my someone from my past that's in the picture, but it's only out of respect, by the way. It's good memories, but it's like I can't be putting so, especially when I'm not. But it's like a picture of me 9 years ago. I'm a lot skinnier. I kind of look the same actually. Wait a minute, I'll try and. I wonder if it'll. Why does it keep? I think there is one of me on my own. Oh no, it's right away again. God, isn't that shit, man? Sometimes it's nice, but a lot of the things this phone shows me, it's like, could you fuck off? It's a little bit difficult when you're trying to kind of like, forget the past and it keeps showing you things from the past. See? And I'm just going to see if it showed it because I was trying not to, because it would fuck up the whole. I feel like I've kind of went back to looking a little bit like that. I might be deluded, but you know what I mean? Don't look too. No, you can see I'm a bit fresher faced and a bit younger. And my boobs stayed still. You know what I mean? They didn't like fall to the floor when I took my bra off. That's what happens with older age. I feel a lot of women and possibly men will be laughing right now, but it's the truth, isn't it? That's quite depressing when that happens. Nobody warned me for that. I think I was being a bit too, I don't know if it's cocky, but I was just kind of like, that was one of my favorite parts of my body. And it's kind of like, I still do love that part of my body, but you know, it happened all of a sudden. You know what I mean? It's just like, God, you hit 40 and it's just like, you know what I mean? So funny. It's a little bit honest there, wasn't it, Charlotte? But right, so I think I was checking the alarms go off. Um, right, yeah, 16 hours. We're good. I'm not going to be on for 16 hours. The longest I've ever done is 7 hours, I believe. Or was it 6 hours? I don't know. I never planned to do that. Right, and I'll turn that off. Not that anyone's going to be phoning at this time of night. Might be texting though, so nah, don't think most people text at this time. Right, right. So get comfortable where you are. And just close your eyes when you're ready. And I don't know how long this is going to be. It is what it is. It'll just be as long as it might be quite short, or it could be. I don't feel it'll be any longer than 30 minutes because I don't really fancy being here any longer than 30 minutes, if I'm honest, but we'll just see. So, breathing in, telling yourself relax. Breathing out, telling yourself release. Breathing in, telling yourself relax. And breathing out, giving yourself permission to release. So whatever's been hanging about your aura, the world stuff, especially the world stuff, because there's just been so many heightened things that have happened recently that have put a lot of sadness and fear into the collective, and that's what it was meant to do. But it doesn't take away that it has left a lot of sadness. So we can't get away from that fact. But it's very important that with so much going on that you try your best to not get pulled into it too much. Sorry, I'm trying to light the thing and it's not playing ball. Maybe there's a worry the flame has went out in a connection because I'm sure if I spin this thing nah, I need to put more oil in it. You put more gas in the tank, right? We've got a little bit. I was just putting some Palo Santo in the vibes. So yeah, breathing in, telling yourself relax, breathing out, telling yourself release, calling in Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, Jesus, energy of the rose water. And I just want you to imagine that cloud of sagey mist whirling above the top of your head. And that cloud of sagey mist has the power to dispel any negative energies or entities or anything hanging about your aura from the collective energy, from other people's energy that may have affected you negatively, or any of you that might have been helping anyone that's a bit sad, so it's not that they're being an energy drainer as such. It's just, when you're dealing with something sad, it's going to take an effect on your energy. Anything where anything might have zapped anyone, or if you've been going through your own deep stuff, we're just cleansing all that energy, cleansing and clearing all that energy with the violet flame. And so the energy now goes over your soul star chakra, which is really, again, what one of the huge things that this week is about. I wouldn't be surprised if soul star chakra comes up somewhere before the week is out, because the soul star chakra to me is about where our gifts are activated and where that higher guidance comes online. And again, from when I started, that's what I was doing specifically in my psychic astrology empowerment sessions and my chakra soul empowerment sessions. And those are the ones that I'm going to be putting on offer after tonight. Well, actually, I'm just highlighting them, and you're going to get a bonus with it. So they're always there, but it's just you won't get the bonuses if you don't buy, before Sunday. Well, actually, before Saturday, because some will disappear. But yeah, so that's why it's like people that I worked with right at the start. A lot of them are living their calling. They're doing what it was I saw they were going to be doing in the future. And that for some people that is guiding others through this weird time as well, weird and wonderful time. Some of it. So that's a wee bit about that. So, just be open to that energy being activated in you, like that awareness and that awakening of what you came in here to do. Like, what did you come in here to be and to shine as? And do you feel like you're doing it? And if not, why not? These are all questions to ponder and things I could help you with if you were guided to look at that in a session. And also, not just with the cards, they're guiding me to say, we could look at things like that in a past life regression or the future regression, and it would be your own higher self that would come through with answers. So, of course, I'm there to facilitate the help too, but in a lot of ways, it'd be your higher self coming through with answers. So, and that's important because there's one of the things I do that it's like you can try on the different timelines. So you know what I mean? It's like, well, I go this way or that way. And so if you say, it could be about anything, love, but let's say it's about a job. am I making the right decision by leaving this and going into this? You could try on the timeline. So yes, now the energy moves down over the soul star chakra and now over the crown chakra. Again, that connection to the divine, God, universe, whatever you call yours, your angels, those higher beings, the light beings. And really, yeah, connecting to that higher galactic energy. And then the energy moves down over the third eye. And of course, a lot of you will have heard, well, everyone will have heard, unless you're kind of new at all this stuff, third eye awakening. And that is with the spontaneous awakening energy. A lot of people's third eye, if it's not happening to you, it will be happening around you, where people could just literally transform overnight. They don't see something the way they saw it before, or they're not as happy in the relationship that they've been in that they thought they were. It's big drastic changes, people waking up. You know what they're showing me actually? In it, so by the way, if you've never done this with me before, this is how I channel the activation, the meditation. It just, I'll be bringing in bits and bobs of the collective, and it's just whatever they want me to bring in. The only difference is rather than sit and listen to me, you've got your eyes closed, hopefully. But if you've not, it's fine, but you'll get more out of it if you close your eyes. If you've ever seen Stepford Wives, that scene there, I've always felt that's like about awakening and like Twinflame awakening too, but just awakening in general, where because they're all like under a spell, really, like, being controlled. And then there's the scene where they all start waking up and they all start malfunctioning. And then they wake up to who they really are, because it's been, suppressed and hid away. Well, not by them. It's been, it's like they've been put under a spell or a dark hypnosis. So that's kind of what they were showing me there. That's almost what it could be like. Like, somebody could be like, how's this person changing overnight? But really they're just becoming who they really are. So the veil is lifting. That's the best way to put it. The veil is lifting on many things. So now the energy moves down over the throat chakra. And again, that is what I suggested at the start of the week, that you focus on what's stopping you from speaking your truth, or where's a block at your throat chakra. But you didn't have to pick that. It was just a suggestion. So again, you might want to think about that. And so when we call in the energy at the throat chakra, this is about talking and speaking your truth and speaking more of your truth. But this is also about listening. So especially when we're doing something like this, it's good to be present and tune in and listen to the words that are coming through from God and the guides and the loved ones of spirit that want to come in, and the Pleiadians and the light beings in general, and the Arcturians, because they were coming through big time in the shorts. And now the energy moves down to the higher heart chakra, and this is where we call on Saint Germain and the violet flame to cleanse, clear, and delete any previous requests that no longer serve your highest good, to make way for what will serve your highest good and the highest good of all involved across all timeline, space, and dimension, versions of self. And we call on that for your true twin flame as well, knowing that, we're always asking for the permission. But like I always say, when you share energy, it's the ego that's going to say no. The soul is never going to say no. The twin flame soul is always guiding you in truth. So that's what all seeing all the signs and the synchronicities are about. And then it's just about the alignment. And that's what my cards mean when it's like, we talk so much telepathically, it'll feel natural when we're with each other. But in truth, it'll actually probably at first feel quite awkward until you fit into that energy. But it's quite interesting as well. What a synchronicity. The song that's on right now, that's always been my song for somebody leaving a karmic situation, because it's a beautiful day, the sun is shining, and I can't wait to get something like it's a beautiful day because you're the what it's what are the lyrics again? It's like, I'm so glad that it's something like it's a beautiful day because you're the one that got away. So it's like not a good, it's not a good thing. There's a unicorn in the sky. It's like, I'm glad you've done me a favor by doing whatever you've done, or this is a good idea that I walk away from this. You know what I mean? It's that's literally is always my song for that, and it's on right now. So again, people's third eye opening and throat chakra and heart chakra stuff is to do with speaking up to the karmic energies wherever you might need to, and particularly that's a romantic one because he's telling somebody to get to fuck, basically, in a nice way. I'm so glad you're the one that got away. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, that's something like that. So now the energy moves down over the heart and recalling unconditional love and healing and heart awakening energy, in particular healing wherever it needs to go out to the different places in the world. All particularly the places where we know there's very high intensity, high energy tragedies that have went on. But in truth, that stuff is happening in so many places all over the world that we won't even hear about, sadly. So we're sending love to all the places in the world. And like I always say, that's what true twin flames are about. Real twin flame unions, it's you create a ripple of light. Although I don't like saying love and light and love. I'll say it a bit differently. But on the planet that can move mountains. And that's why, I'm kind of saying this a bit jokey, but a bit not. I won't be surprised if there is more kind of unusual, like earthquakes and stuff like that, or really unusual earth activity in places in the UK that we don't get a lot when a lot more twin flames come into union. So, we'll see. That'll be interesting. Because there was one, like I said, a few months ago, and I had actually felt my whole bed shake. I thought they were trying to tell me something. I'm joking. Like I felt my whole bed shake, so I knew. And then I'd basically felt it 20 minutes before it had happened, and it was not far from where I live, and it was actually very close to where my best friend lives, and she didn't even feel it at all. So it just shows you, like, that was obviously my Claire's like sensing it, but it was weird. But it's not the first time things like that happen. Um, but yeah, so now the energy moves down over your solar plexus, and this is where we call back your power. So wherever you've given your power away, over in this life or any other life, we're calling back your power. And that's just a good thing to do even on your own. Like, just if you can just take a bit of time whenever it sort of comes to mind, especially if it comes to mind, because your guides that'll be like, they might even like remind you of when I was saying this, and that'll be they're trying to tell you you need to take your power back. And that might be enough to just call your power back in that moment. But in other cases, it might not be enough, and that's when you would need to get to a shaman for a soul retrieval. So it's wise to recognize when can you do that healing on yourself, and when is something needing a wee bit more of a hand holding, energetic hand holding, unless you live locally. But again, like I said, the only people that come for physical healing are people that I know personally. But now the energy. So also we're calling in abundance codes, because abundance is your birthright, and we're calling in abundance. So wherever anyone might be struggling financially, we're praying spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and particularly financially, that your finances pick up. And it's a song just came on called Rise with Gabrielle. I don't know how that goes when I said that. So yes, we're praying that there's a rise in your finances, whether you're doing pretty flush already, or whether things are a bit tight. We're praying for more money to come your way. So now the energy moves over the sacral chakra, and we're calling on more energy, more creativity, for that fire to be lit if that fire's been put out. And wherever you're needing healing at the sacral chakra, and be open to that healing coming in, because that's about trust or not trusting. And now the energy goes down the root chakra, where we call on grounding, safety, security, your material world, your money, your finances, your home. We're calling on that safety. Wherever people don't feel safe in their own body, their own skin, their own home, we're calling in that safety. Calling in all the power animals to protect people that don't feel safe in their own home. I don't like the way I'm saying that. I feel like maybe people that don't feel safe in their own home, that's where you've got some real toxic people around you, or toxic people of the past, like stalking and stuff like that. I've never felt that for it but when I got to that, I felt it. So praying that the big scary power animals protect you and keep these people away. So now the energy goes down. The energy goes from your hips down over your legs, over your knees, which are about worthy, and you are worthy. You are wanted. You are loved. Remember the cards that came out. You're loved, you're wanted, you're worthy. And so the energy goes down out through your feet, going down, 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 all the way down to the bottom of Mother Earth, however you imagine that to be. And we just call on Archangel Michael to cut the cords of fear, lack, and negativity, the old earth, which is very much dying. And it's been, I mean, I've been channeling this for so many years now, it's ridiculous, but it is very much dying. And that's why it's getting ugly out there. But along with the old earth dying and crumbling, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. That is the truth of it. Definitely when those planets move into Aries in only a few months, it's, you know, Aries is war and aggression, but it's also passion and change, and things do need to change. It reminds me of that. I think it's Socrates, you know, in order to build the new, you need to tear down the old, something like that. I think it's, if it's not Socrates, I think it's something like that. But so we disconnect from the old earth of fear, lack, negativity. Keep in the lessons because it makes you who you are. Whatever you've went through on the karmic path with the karmic people, romantic and otherwise, you learned what your soul needed to learn. And perhaps the lesson was to stand up to the people that were getting in the way of you moving forward. And again, love, yes, but that can be friendships, that can be family, that can be work colleagues, you know, people that don't want you to be on their ice as that song's finishing. And that's quite funny because right as I said that, it's a Michael Jackson song, You Are Not Alone. And in the start of that video, it's all the flashing cameras as he's walking down the thing, you know, feeling alone. So you can have all those people around you adoring you, but you could feel all alone, quite deep. So now we connect to the new earth of peace, calm, abundance, balance of your inner masculine and feminine, with your feminine energy being receptive and going with the flow, embracing your feelings, whether you're a woman or a man, allowing yourself to soften, especially men, you know, allowing yourself to know that you're allowed to have sad days, you're allowed to cry, you're allowed to be in need of a hug. You don't always have to be the strong one, and you don't need to hide your feelings. Especially when we home in on twin flames, like, you know, whatever you are. So if you're the feminine, the masculine has the inner feminine of your energy. And if you're the masculine, the feminine has the inner masculine of your energy. That's how it works. And so you can swap in and out of that. And that's why you'll feel such a synergy, like you know this person better than anyone else knows them, because it is your energy. And you'll remember that. You'll be remembering that from the other lifetimes and the stars in some cases. Galactic unions, baby. So now I'm just going to, I keep getting me shuffling. What's on the bottom? Oh, interesting. So I wasn't really going to be looking at the cards until I was finished what was just coming through, but I've looked at the bottom of the deck and it's faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, and see the light in the world. So there's a lot about the light, the light, the light, the light in the world. And I'd said humanity a lot before the card came out. And also that is Archangel Michael's twin flame. So notice that's not a coincidence that I was calling on Archangel Michael specifically to help. And Saint Germain might pop out too, or Lady Portia. But that's not a coincidence that that's Archangel Michael's twin flame, because this deck is full of twin flames. So that's lovely. So now I just want you to connect with your intention, that hopefully if you're listening to this, you set an intention at the start of the week for how you want to feel by Friday, or you could even push it to Sunday. Really, I would push it to the 7th of January because that's from today. And that's when the soul retrieval will have taken place. But, and bear in mind, you know, if you're listening to this live and you didn't do day 1 and day 2, it's not that you won't have any kind of shift, but it won't be as big as if you'd done it from the start. But the good news is you could just go back and do it in your own time. And then definitely please leave a comment or that, or email me if you got support from it at any point. But getting back to it, being in the present moment, like that was the masculine's card, you know, go with the flow. And your masculine energy is about your boundaries, your discernment, which was the card that came out at the start. the goddess of discernment, Freya. And, you know, we do need to have times when we think with our head and not let our heart take over. But I'm more the kind of person that I'd always rather go with my heart than my head. But there are certain circumstances where you do need to have your head screwed on, you know what I mean? But all the time. But you need to yeah, you need to be a wee bit more analytical, sensible. And sometimes that pays off, sometimes it doesn't. As we see all the time, sometimes that could lead to regret. And I happen to feel I can't really think of too many examples when you don't follow your heart, when you don't regret it, if you really sort of think about that. And sometimes following your heart can cause a lot of fuss around the others, you know. There's so many films that show that when you decide to follow your heart and go the other way, it can ruffle a lot of feathers. But does that mean you stop? No, because I've pulled soul expansion. Mahavatar Babaji. Your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connection between all things. That's those of you out there that you're really all the blue on these cards again as well. Your consciousness is expanding and you're looking at life a little differently than before. You're having that further awakening or awakening for the first time for some people. It won't be too many people that tune in here, I don't think. So connect with that vision that you had. How did you want to feel? Feel into that now. How did you feel on Monday when you were looking at the block? And yesterday, and how are you feeling today about that? And the song Emotion just came on, Destiny's Child. Just emotion taking me over. And it was a very emotional couple of days, and especially if you'd felt that moon conjunct Black Moon Lilith before the moon shifted today. That was very intense, which is why I was purposely watching The Office, because laughter is healing and it's uplifting. And I thought, just to counteract the heavy energy that I could sense in the collective, it's better that I'm sitting pissing myself at the telly. So I want you to pull up from the new earth whatever it is you feel you need right now in this moment. There's a lot about the present moment, because that is where our power lies. If you're always planning for the future, planning, in the future, or talking about the past, but you're not actually being in the here and now, which is what matters. You're always going to be waiting for the day that's always a day away, or you're going to be talking about the past that's long gone. Be in the present moment. Whatever's going on, especially I found when I was in my dark night of soul, that was the only thing that got me through. I just had to stop worrying about what was to come in the future and to try to not go back to the past and be in the present moment, even though I felt like shit. Because in my case, when I had a lot of loss in particular, and that's interesting. The candle went out and I said that you know, when you're grieving, and particularly when it is people that are really, really close to you, and unfortunately I can feel that will be relevant to some people watching, that, you know, this is about you've actually lost somebody that you love recently, or it could even be ages ago you've lost someone, because it's, you know, you can still grieve. I knew I wasn't going to feel like myself for quite a few years, never mind months, and I was right about that. And I also knew that some of the things I went through were going to have a huge impact on other things that I wanted in my life, which it did as well. So being in the present moment in my dark night of soul was what got me through. So might seem obvious, but I feel like somebody needed to hear that out there. So now we're going to go into a shamanic journey. So, oh, and I've said that nearly at 11:11. So we're going, that's quite funny because I didn't know how, but they told me I knew 11:11 was going to be significant tonight, but I didn't know how. I thought it was maybe when wishful thinking, I thought it was going to be when I was ending everything. So Right, it's divine time to do this quantum leap into your highest timeline. So let's go. Fuck it, let's go. And remember as well that if you've fallen asleep and you're kind of even feel like you can't sort of open your eyes, don't worry about that. It's just whether you see it's unfortunately or fortunately, because I'm a hypnotherapist as well. Many of you that listen to my voice a lot are so used to my voice anyway that it doesn't actually relax you. So it's not a mistake to fall asleep. If anything, what I always say to people, if you stay awake for the whole time that I'm doing this, that actually is not great. You know, it's not like, oh, you've done it wrong, but you've not been able to sort of switch off properly, you know, because you should be feeling quite relaxed. It's 11:11 now. You should be feeling quite relaxed and able to go into this going with the flow sort of relaxed energy. But some people are like, oh, I don't know what happened. I fell asleep. That's okay. It still goes into your subconscious. And also remember, your subconscious will reject whatever it is you don't want to take on. So you're always in control. So I want you to imagine a door in front of you. And before we go through that door, it's always really important that before you go on a shamanic journey, that you set a powerful intention for why you're going into that journey. You don't just wander into the spirit world. So I'm going to set a group intention because it's a little bit different. When I'm doing a group activation, I've got to change things a little bit than if I was doing a personal session, which is why I don't call it hypnosis as such. But if you read between the lines, it is because I am. So, but it's important for you to know that before I actually done all of the official training, that I was always putting people into that trance. So it's really just picked up from my past life. So, yes, before we go through this door, I'm going to set a collective group intention that whatever the action is, whatever the intention you set for the whole week, and whatever the actions are that you've taken, that when we go into this shamanic journey slash quantum healing activation meditation, that it's going to be able to shift you to your highest timeline, meaning that things will change. Like you could wake up as soon as tomorrow and feel very different. And you're kind of like, you won't really know why, but it will be connected to what you've done this week. So just roll with it, you know. And it might be a bit, it's more than likely going to be a bit turbulent as well, because, and that's not just to do with this week and this meditation, it's to do with the spontaneous awakening activations that are going on. It's to do with the light codes. It's to, which I'm always activating further as well. And it's to do with the solstice, because like I said, the weeks that I dislike the most out of a year are these weeks that are leading up to the solstice or the equinox. I really can't stand them because it's weird energy. When I can take time off or a holiday, I try to. So you'll no doubt have observed some intense, you know, like not nice energy basically. Obviously in the work, in the macro sense, but in your own personal life, you might have had some not very nice experiences too. So breathe and ground yourself. So yeah, that's intention, that you're going to jump to your highest timeline, and we'll just see what else happens when we're in there. That's the general gist. And I might set a wee intention for a loved one in spirit to come forward and have a wee chat. I usually do that too. So you can set your own intention if you're still awake, but if you've fallen asleep, you know, you'll get what it is you need to. So walking through the door now, calling on our power animals as we do that. So if you know what your power animal is, call on them, or just notice what animal pops up when I said that. But just know that my wolf and my tiger especially, and my jaguar and my bear, and I could go on and on and on. There's so many animals that I connect with, but the wolf and the tiger especially are always overseeing everything that goes on the channel. So now you walk along the rose quartz path of unconditional love, soaking up all that unconditional love for exactly where you're at in this now moment, wherever that might be. Your soul is learning the lessons that you came here to learn, and you're doing just fine. Those of you that are newly awakening, or, you know, it's got a little bit more amped up, like I said at the start of this, you signed up for this, and this is what you agreed to go through. So although I know that that can be really painful or difficult here based on what you're going through and the lessons you went through, trust in yourself that you knew what you were doing, that it's all going to work out somehow. A little bit like that. It's not a little bit, it's a lot like what I said. I was kind of amazed at myself when I jumped on a Facebook Live all those years ago. But I done it and here I am. So, like I said, that's quite rare to have trusted oneself in that way that soon when I was that young and nobody else was doing anything really like that. But that's a good lesson to trust yourself, because now it makes a lot more sense, because there's loads of people doing very similar to what I'm doing. And some of you might not be in that world, so you're like, I don't know anyone else that does anything like you do, but there are a lot of people that do similar. They won't do exactly the same as me, because I do a lot of things and they're also not me. But you know, this isn't really that strange. There's a lot of people talking about New Earth and stuff, but not, there is and there isn't, you know what I mean? There is and there isn't actually. Depends which way you look at it. So now you reach the end of that rose quartz path and you reach the chakra bridge. And the chakra bridge is something that you just walk over as slowly or as quickly as you want. But when you walk over that chakra bridge, it's sparkling up your chakras. And it's that magical. You don't need to spend ages going through it, because actually, in truth, the way I started this, that is the big group chakra clearing. And so now you reach the end of the chakra bridge, and this is where I always guide people to an old oak tree beside a humble bench. So you can choose to sit on that bench beside the oak tree, or you can find yourself in your own private space where you like to do this work. You might take yourself to a beach or your favourite holiday destination, a forest, a crystal cave, galaxy, stars. I could go on and on and on, but you take yourself somewhere where you feel safe enough to do this work. Somebody did choose the stars though, because I looked up at a star on the tree when I said that. So now I want you to imagine a campfire. And although I said you can take yourself to wherever you want to go, I now just want to invite everybody to energetically sit around the campfire. So just imagine we're all in a big campfire, big shamanic campfire. We're all sitting around it. And I want you to just materialize, see a bit of paper and a pen in your hand. And I want you to grab the pen and just with your mind's eye, I want you to see yourself writing whatever that block was that you identified, whatever it is, whatever area of life, doesn't even need to be anything about speaking your truth, but whatever it was, I want you to write that block on that bit of paper. And once you're happy that you've wrote the block on the bit of paper, and it doesn't matter if you don't see it in your third eye, that doesn't matter. Just know that you're doing it. Trust. And now I want you to crumple that bit of paper up, and on the count of 3, we're all going to chuck our bit of paper into the fire, because you've sacrificed too much to be happy. And it's time that that stops now. That block has been too much of an issue in your life and it can't go on. And I said that because Elton John's Sacrifice came on when I said that. So on the count of 3, chuck that bit of paper in the fire. And that's symbolically, energetically releasing this block that you've carried too long. Some of you might have carried this block from past lives. And if you want to explore that further, we could check that out in a session. But so, ready? 1, 2, 3. Launch your arm back, throw in the fire. It's gone. Boom. So you've already taken some type of action towards this week, hopefully. And like I said, it's not too late. If you want to go and start again and come back to this, and do that. But if everyone's done what I suggested, you've put in the effort and you've thrown that in the fire energetically. You're saying, I'm ready to let this go. And notice the synchronicity of, if you watched the Goddess Isis channeling yesterday, which is still creeping me out because, you know, I can only explain as far as what I explain, but it's like they make me morph into looking like Cleopatra or like Goddess Isis, because I'd actually done really, really winged eyeliner, which I don't. I've started doing it a bit more now, like, but it was like, it's because I've been watching all these makeup tutorials, and it was like, it was really exaggerated, which would be like, you know, in those times when they used the eyeliner like that. And then also because I had my wee ankh bracelet on with the ankh necklace. So yeah, they were really in that kind of energy. So definitely watch that if you haven't watched it. But because I just don't feel like it that in that energy today. It feels more kind of soft and gentle, like Mother Mary energy. But yeah, it came through. The card was about choosing an object that you're going to let go of with your issue. So that's not a coincidence that that card came out, because I mean, I shuffled on camera, so there's a theme here. So now that you've released energetically that block into the fire with all this fire, sun, moon, Mercury, and all the other stuff going on, and particularly with the Juno and Sagittarius, like I said, because that's about commitment, some of you may be releasing a fear of commitment or a fear of abandonment or a fear of rejection, and they can all really be quite linked in. You're ready. You're ready to commit to yourself in some cases. You're ready to commit to another in other cases. You're ready to commit to that project that you've been procrastinating about. You're ready to commit to the happiest life in the highest timeline possible for you, rather than self-sabotaging out of fear. So now this is where you can take yourself to your own private space. And I want you to imagine a door. And the door that I like to get people to imagine is like the sky emoji. So, you know, all kind of like that navy blue with the glittery bits on it. But you can picture it however you want. But I want you to imagine that that door has just magically appeared. And before we walk through this door, because we're gonna, that on the other side of that door, you're going to experience what your higher timeline is, the one you've chosen to go to. You're going to try it on for a time. And whenever I've done this before, whether it's in a group or personal sessions, people don't want to come back like that quickly. And it's understandable if you jump to a higher timeline where you're your twin flamer together about all the issues, or you jump to a higher timeline where you're in a you know, an amazing job where it's like I get paid to play and I'm having fun, or you jump to, you know, where life is, you're happy and you're not sad, you know what I mean? You can understand why you don't want to come back, but it's just for a while, and then we're going to come back. And then when we come back, you're going to hold space for it manifesting. So I'm just giving you a wee bit of a pre-warning of what's to come. But just remember, I'm going to remind people once more, only do this if you're ready. If you're not ready to embrace the change that comes with this, I wouldn't do it. Have patience with yourself, because take that, patience just came on. Oh, sorry, it's not, it's rule the world. But yes, if you're not ready to rule your own world, but patience too, then maybe come back and try this challenge another time. But I don't think you would have chose to do it if you weren't ready. And like I've always said, this is always, it's, I always used to say it was ascension in disguise. It's not really in disguise because I say it, but it kind of is as well, because a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm not doing that. Oh, there's not many people doing it. I'm not doing that. Or, oh, that's weird. What's that? I'm not doing that. They won't do it. They're missing out. They're missing out. It's a timeline jump. It's real. And you do get the shift from it. If you get in what you put in, if you don't put the effort in, you don't take it seriously, you don't get in and out of it. And remember, you can always choose to go back and do it in your own time. So, just a wee warning there. But for the people that you're ready because you took the action and you've got to this point, you were ready. So, I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to count from 1 to 3 this time. And when I get to 3, you're going to open your door to your highest timeline. You're going to close the door behind you, and you're perfectly safe when you land in your highest timeline, because we're setting intention that you land in the place you really want to be with the people you want to be with. If there's anyone around you at all, it depends what you're putting out there. And we're going to request that you don't go too far into the future, because trust me, the times we live in, you could jump to like, we're not wanting to jump like 10 and 5 years. You can do that in personal sessions, but we're asking that your highest timeline is just a little bit ahead of you. So that could even be that like you're jumping the highest timeline that's a few days away. You're jumping the highest timeline that's a week away. You're jumping the highest timeline that's like, a few months away. We're not really wanting to go any further than that. I mean, if you do jump to like something that you feel is 6 months away, that's okay too. But we're going to put that request, but just because I'm requesting it, some of your higher selves might jump to like a year from now and stuff, but we'll just see. So, ready to jump now? So, 1, 2, 3. Opening the door to your own personal timeline that you're choosing to go to, you're creating it. Closing the door, you're safe with your power animals and my power animals. And boom, you've landed in your own highest timeline that you're creating. And so I'm just going to talk for a little bit, and then I'm going to stay quiet for however long they guide me to. But before I go quiet, look down at your feet and see what's on your feet. What shoes are you wearing? It might matter, it might not. Like, say, for instance, you visualize that you're on holiday or something. You might have your sandals, or you might be barefoot, you might be in the sea, you might be swimming. I wouldn't imagine anyone would have jumped to be swimming. How do I know though? It's swimming with the dolphin. Yeah, take a look in the mirror. That I could imagine that would be relevant if you've been unwell or quite down or depressed. I mean, some of you might be able to do this, but one of my gifts is I actually see people as like very grey and dull when they're not happy. So even if somebody is like seeming really happy to everyone else and putting on a smile and laughing, I'll be able to see the truth. And that's why I can understand that people find that quite terrifying, but it's been a gift I've had since childhood. So yeah, look in the mirror. How healthy do you look? What's changed? Is there a sparkle in your eyes? Should be. You chose the timeline. Who's with you? Some of you, inevitably, you've chose to be with your twin flame without all the drama. It's somehow just worked out. You don't need to know the how. The how isn't important. You just need to take the action towards what you're creating. Which is why I called one of my packages, the 4 sessions, Create Your Vision. So let go of the wandering mind that's like, oh, but this and that's stopping me and that. Let all that fall away. Feel into it and visualize what would make you happy. For other people, it's you're in a job that you love, that, like I said, you feel like, wow, I get paid to play. I would do this for free. That's a huge indication when you love what you do. If you're like, you know what, if money wasn't a thing, I would totally do this anyway because I love it. That's how I feel about my work. It's just, unfortunately, we live in a world that quite often or not does revolve around money as much as I don't like it. We need money to keep a roof over our heads, to pay for food in our fridge, to pay for our bills, to enjoy things out in the world. Although there's many things in the world that you can enjoy without money, it has to be said. Like a nice walk in nature. So hopefully I've said enough things to get your mind ticking over, but just you take the next 5 or 10 minutes. We'll just see how long they guide me to leave you. It might be that I just leave you a few minutes, but I think I'll be at least leaving you about 5 minutes, because it really doesn't matter when we do this. It's shamanic time. Time is an illusion. So just have fun creating. Let your creative brain take over. If your overthinking analytical side is trying to question all of this, just acknowledge it and say thank you for protecting you, but ask it to take a wee step back. Ask the ego especially to take a step back and just go with this, especially if you've never done anything like this before. And you enjoy that timeline, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to close my eyes, but I'll be opening them too to check that there's not any fuckery going on. And when you hear my voice again, it will be to bring you back, but not to open your eyes yet until I say. But yeah, just enjoy that. Right, so as lovely as that is, and I was actually enjoying doing that too, but it's quite interesting because Westlife, You Raised Me Up has come on. So I feel like that was raising the frequency, raising the consciousness of us involved, but the collective. So, but before we come out of this, I just want you to enjoy the last few moments of whatever it was you were experiencing. So, and just, I feel like somebody needs to hear this. There's no right and wrong way of doing this. If you found that you were like one moment jump into like a week from now, another moment like 6 months from now, another moment tomorrow, another moment like the weekend, that's all, that's okay. If that, like that's what I was doing. My higher self was jumping all over the place, like giving me glimpses of all different experiences. And if you just experienced something that's going to happen in a week or 2 weeks or in a couple of days and you just immersed yourself in that, then that's what your higher self wanted to do. But as long as you, for these last few moments, just really, really feel how happy you feel in that highest timeline and how proud you are that you didn't stay stuck in whatever area of life this is related to. So just for those last few moments, let's all do that. And then I'm going to call us back to come through the door. Right, so I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, and you're going to go through that same door, but you're not leaving this behind. You're pulling. You're almost like it's like an imaginary canvas painting, like a magical kind of energy, right? You're pulling that what you've just been creating and feeling into, and you're taking the future with you. You're taking the highest timeline, your future, with you when we go back through this door, because you're bringing your future and your present that you're going to step into as soon as we get off this. But really, it's as soon as you come back through this door. So, ready to come back now. 3, 2, 1. Stepping through that door, pulling your vision with you, closing the energetic door, keeping the eyes closed because we're still in the shamanic journey. So, before we leave the shamanic journey, I want you to find yourself on the bench or somewhere comfortable and you're really happy and all filled up with that lovely energy. And we're just going to leave space for a loved one in spirit to just come down and sit with you literally just for a minute or so. And if it's not a loved one in spirit, it could be a guide or something. Oh, wow. Or the angels. Robbie Williams angels just came on when I said that. Or a power animal. And just allow whatever and whoever has come to sit with you to tell you something. It could be a word, it could be a colour, it could be an image. But just get them to quickly give you something. Maybe a name. Might not make sense. I think they're doing something cryptic. But just, I'm going to sit and do it for a minute as well. Right. So I don't know why they're telling me to do it that quick, but they're saying whether you got something or not, we have to come back now. So yeah, look out. If you got something, look out for it. But I believe even if you didn't get something in that moment, you'll get something in your dreams and it'll all connect. So thanking the guide, loved one and spirit, angels, especially angels actually, or guides, power animal, whatever came forward, or light being. And now I just want you to see you walking up from the bench, walking over the chakra bridge, sparkling up your chakras as you walk over it. But this time you're walking over that chakra bridge feeling really charged up, having had a big, huge energy clearing. Because for those of you that aren't aware, like if you're just new here, the reason I say everything I do is channeling, clearing, and healing energy is because I'm a shaman and a Reiki master teacher. But again, I don't home in too much on the Reiki bit because it's not what resonates with me the strongest. But that is a huge, big chakra energy clearing, which is what I'm doing all the time. But it's a bit more of a more in depth one, and then on top of the meditation that we've done, these are some of the things that we could do in a personal session too, or in the membership. I'm going to start putting some more hypnosis in there. But yes, you're coming over that bridge and you're feeling strong, confident, capable, really proud of yourself that you took some sort of action this week. And again, if you're if you're sitting thinking, I didn't know, go back and do it again and then come back to this for it to have the full effect. It's never too late. People can watch this on replay. So, walking along the rose quartz path, soaking up all that unconditional love, which you very much deserve, and you should be really proud of yourself. Your angels, guides, loving spirit, ancestors are really proud of you. I'm proud of you, but most importantly, be proud of yourself. Because this not only helps yourself, it also helps your twin flame too. So, because you are connected, you are the same energy. So now that we're at the door, I'm going to count 3, 2, 1. Oh, no, I'm going to count actually from 10 to 1. So when I get to 2, you're going to think about opening your eyes. And when I get to 1, you're going to open your eyes. And how interesting I just said that, because it's at the scene in Angels where they're kissing. You know, it zooms out and the helicopter's zooming out on them and they're having a wee smooch. So that feels like, I don't know, maybe that's a sign for someone. It's by the sea too. So all of this could be significant. Holidays, or you live by the sea or the ocean or something. So, ready to come back now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Pull in your highest timeline into the present moment. 1, open the door, closing the door behind you, leaving the guides that stay there, and back, wide awake, wide awake. If you fell asleep or went quite deep, Run, Leona Lewis has just come on. If that's significant to anyone, that's a lovely song. Light up, as if you have a choice. Even though I cannot hear your voice, I'll be right beside you, dear. I'm getting chills. Wow. That's quite amazing, isn't it? Because that can either be about twin flames or that could be like about an angel or a loved one in spirit or something else. I'm being drawn to the angel wings on the pink angel wings on my tree, actually, the glittery ones. I showed them on one of the shorts. I don't know what one it was, but I picked up on it's a very sad energy, actually. It was unfortunately, I definitely picked up on somebody that's lost a child in spirit, which I do a lot. I mean, that's what I'm good at picking up on. But I don't know when, I don't know what day it was, but that just reminded me of that. Okay, so who that was doing this is awake. Charlotte, are you fast? Charlotte conks out, so she might be a goner. She might not wake up till tomorrow. This is where I need a drum to start banging the drummer. Hello, wake up. But no, if you have listened to this and you want to go to sleep, it was 11. Oh my God. It was 11:44 when I was saying that about that being like twin flames. Wow. Literally was 11:44 here. I don't know what was on the timer at the on the Zoom thing, but it was 11. That's crazy. Um, Always happens though. It's either significant on the timer on the video when I end it or the time. So that's nuts. Um, yeah. Now what to do is just whatever time it is there, if you can go and have some rest and integrate what we've just done, then please go and do that. Drink lots of water, have a good sleep, because it's a big energy clearing. And because it's the light codes, it's the light language and the light code activations going on as well. There's actually further on the week, the card that came out was light language. Actually, where are those cards? And then I'm just going to get going very soon. I'm just going to, there they are. Let's just see what comes out. What? In case a loved one in spirit quickly came forward, what's potentially something that someone's loved one in spirit wants to say? Oh, believe in yourself and your abilities. We believe in you. Wow. Listen to your inner voice as we try to guide you. Use your intuition. The 21st is important, so that's Saturday, isn't it? No, it's Sunday. Look out for Sunday being significant. That's the winter solstice. Continue to grow by seeking new knowledge. We applaud your efforts. Wow, like the guy with a book. I think that's just collective, but you never know. And someone could have asked to have seen a leopard or something. I don't know. Right. So, what's some more messages that we need? Well, I'll do them at the end actually. Right. Because I mentioned a few. Let's see who comes out. Saint Germain, Mary Magdalene, any of the ones I mentioned, Mother Mary. Odin. Oh, wow. Odin, psychic insight. Because I went on about the third eye. Your third eye is open. See the truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. That feels pretty powerful. Because for some people, you know, that's why I give a warning before we do that. Like, your third eye's open. See the truth for what it is. It might not be pretty. Follow your intuition. Or it doesn't need to be something like that. It can just be, I feel it is for a lot of people, though, to be honest. I feel it is. But for some people, it's like your third eye is open, you see the truth of something you couldn't see before in a good way. It's time to run towards that because run is still on. What's the meanings? Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy, it's what we've been doing. Move beyond current challenges, focus on what you desire. And look at how much I went on about desire and Black Moon Lilith. Increased awareness, Master Buddha, deep connection, trust your inner voice. Trust your intuition, trust your inner voice. Pretty clear. And then they've just guided me to this. In order to cope with separation from a loved one, we need to realize that spiritually we are always connected to those we love. Neither distance nor time can separate that which is united by love, whether that be about twin flames or loved ones in spirit, you know. Right, so I'm going to end with these. So thank you if you took part in this. And it's not over because I'll be back tomorrow and we'll be doing, so look out for the video prompt, 1:44 UK time. So just go to the videos because I don't think it's notifying people. And then join again tomorrow, 8 o'clock UK time, and we'll just be talking about, you know, what other actions you took or just, you know, hanging out, seeing what flows through from the collective. And yeah. Oh yeah, and I'll be see what I mean. I forget, always forget, and I will be announcing the offers. So if I go through there, get my hot water bottle, that, and I'm going to watch a wee bit. Well, I don't know if I will. Basically, if I go through there and I'm really sleepy, I want to just go to sleep. I'm going to do that. That's self care. That's my priority, to be honest, right? But if I go through and I'm still kind of wired and wide awake, then I will um perfect the offers I'm going to put out. I already basically did. I already basically did decide what they were, but you know, I like to jazz it all up with my emojis and everything. And also, actually, I'll just look live and see what, if anyone's. I know that Charlotte voted, but it wouldn't surprise me if nobody else has voted. Um, and again, even if you know you're not going to be buying anything, it would just be helpful if you vote. You know, 2 votes. Okay, 2 people have voted. So far, 2 people have both voted for the you would want the unlisted video um about 2026. So if that doesn't change by tomorrow, that might be uh the bonus. And you never know, I might put in 2 bonuses. I'll see how I feel. So look out for them. And like I said, I know for a fact it's going to be the Chakra Soul Empowerment, which I'll just tell you a wee bit about that now. The Chakra Soul Empowerment, I basically go through all of the chakras And from where I start at the beginning, it always ends up tying up like a circle at the end. It links together. And I go through the Akashic records, and it's a real deep dive into each chakra. And it just, yeah, from when I started doing that, which was actually before Crystal Clear Visions, I was doing that for people online. Like, you know, just through screen names and that, I was doing that, and people loved it. And so yeah, I love doing that. But it is it's a bigger investment because it's a bigger result, and it can be a total catalyst for your awakening, you know, and just really awakening to who you are and being fully on your calling and stuff. So big stuff changes. Again, I've got one in particular review about that, about how it changed somebody's life. Um, and remember, it's important to know as well, whatever these reviews say, as amazing as they all are, because they are, I'm really grateful that I've got some really amazing reviews. Don't forget that there's always a much darker part to most people's stuff, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, not everyone's, but most people. But it's not like someone's not going to write all of that stuff, you know. So just keep that in mind, that whatever you're seeing about the transformations, probably the stuff that I've helped people with were a lot bigger and more private than what's even written in anyone's reviews. Um, so because I actually, if people write me things and I feel it's too personal, I actually have not put it out, or I'll say to them, "Look, thanks for doing that," but I think it just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. I don't think it's even going to be, but yeah, there's not been too many of them. I'm really grateful when people are quite, uh, you know, when they do share any kind of review, because like I said, yes, it helps my small business. It helps people know what I do because it could be such a mystery, but it also helps other people that are in very, very toxic situations, being gaslit and financially abused and bullied in some cases at workplaces. And what else have I helped people with? Yeah, just abused spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. Like, you know, unfortunately, this is what I help people with. Um, but I also help people find their gift. Like, my gift is helping you find yours. So that's why I say not every session is that heavy, but a vast majority out of a week. If I'm say I've got 4 sessions in a week, which actually never happens. I don't usually have that. I've usually got like 2 sessions in a week, or yeah, I've usually got 2 sessions in a week. But say I had 3 sessions in a week, 2 of them would be really heavy, and one might be a bit lighter, but it'll still be a bit of shadow work too. So, because it's what my soul signed up to help you with, and I can handle it. So don't you worry about me. I have learned over the years to detach and be in my own energy and clear my energy and not let it all consume me. And yeah, I'm pretty good at that now, no matter what I help people with. And you wouldn't believe some of the dark things. I've cleared attachments, dark attachments, spells, hexes, curses, horrible cases of abuse. But my guides protect me because I'm here to do that. Right, okay, so a bit heavy, isn't it? But it's true. Rainbow Child. Yeah, because I'm this, and so are you, I believe, if you got to the end. Unstoppable, new earth builder, multi talented, miraculous alchemy. There's that word again. We got alchemy in one of the other cards, we're getting again. And alchemy is what I was hashtagging a lot yesterday because I was doing a Scorpio moon. So observe, there's the owl. So be discerning because that was the first card. Goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Loving eyes see all equanimity, see the truth, step back. Right, wow. Guys, whoever the small group of collective this is meant to speak to, that's repeating cards, use, you know what I mean? Like, discernment, discernment, see the truth, see the truth. You know what I mean? See the truth, take a step back and see the truth. Sagittarius new moon is about the bigger picture. Because that's why I help people. Well, I help people see the tiny details and things, but I also help people see the bigger picture. But they came. What's annoying for me personally is, like, you know, yes, I see the future and I feel the future and I basically live so much in the future that it can really alienate me from a lot of people. But you can see that that really has its downside. It's not nice being able to feel the future timeline that real as if it should be happening now when it's years off. And that's what I've been in for, well, too long now. Um, so yeah, it's fun, but it's kind of not as well. That's interesting. Man, that must be someone's wedding song or something. Is somebody that's been, is someone that's married? Because that someone that I worked with, because I don't really, I like it, but it's a bit cheesy. But it's every time our eyes meet, a feeling inside me, it's always more than I can take. Anyway, every little thing that you do, baby, I'm amazed by you. So Lone Star Amazed. I was channeling that the other day and it's come on now. So, but yeah, years and years ago, God, oh my God, it must be like 20 years ago now. A girl I worked with had that as her wedding song, but it was nice for them, it suited them. Um, Forgiveness. See, it says, see the bigger picture. It says, see the bigger picture when I literally just said the Sagittarius new moon is about seeing the bigger picture. Do you know what I'm just laughing at, right? Like, so I can't really say this without it sounding a bit shadowy, right? But I'm going to say it because I was thinking it when I saw it. Every now and again, when I catch people and they're kind of like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Because this is what I'm trying to say. That's why I say that God's speaking through me, because I know that that's why I just said, see the bigger picture. And then literally the next card that comes out says, see the bigger picture. It's because it's not me. Like I'm putting myself out the way to channel the message. Yeah, I'm using my personality and stuff, but it's kind of like sometimes I catch people and it's so overly like, oh my God, do you see how amazing it is? I just said that, and it's kind of like, so that's not the way that I'm meaning it. I'm meaning like, that's why I say it to humble myself. So, but it's just like, oh, I just caught something like that recently, and I'm like, because it's just the same thing with that page. It's like, no, it's because you're being a channel to give the message. It's no you. Like, anyway, so trust and heal. Trust and heal, but forgiveness is in the air. Emergence. Wow. We're leaving it on this. Celebrate, it would be so nice. Holiday. Why am I singing? If we took a holiday. I think I'm mixing up two songs. But anyway, that could be relevant because I was seeing things about the sea and the beach and stuff, and it didn't more than like, if you live beside the sea or the beach, it felt like a holiday or something. Um, why do I keep forgetting how to sing Cool in the Gang? I love it. Celebrate good times. Come on. Do 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 do. And that's always been a sign of union for me. So celebrate sensuality, especially because it says sensuality. Joy, right to enjoy, truly living. And I feel that's what came through when I was saying about, those of you that have sacrificed too much up to this point. Lemurian origin, flow, timeless, that's what this has been. Adaptable, free, take your time. Timeless. Everything's timeless. I said it the whole way through because I say it all the time. Like, wow. And I've just decided I was just about to end it and it's the 0 point. It is 0000. So that is the energy that's no mistake. Because I certainly did not plan to be on here till that time. So I feel for that reason, members, I'm going to call it a night for tonight and I'll just see you tomorrow in better energy because I feel if I push myself and I go in there now, um, I'm just, yeah, I'm not going to be up to it. I'd rather just, if that's what I felt, I feel because I'm a bit sleepy now after that. I'd rather just get off and get a cup of tea and, you know, sort these offers out and stuff. Um, so I'll see everyone tomorrow, 8 o'clock UK time, and we'll just continue, the live streams and I'll be talking about the offers and look out for the post and obviously get booking them if you want to get the fast action bonuses. And the cart will close on Sunday. So meaning that some of the offers that I put on won't be available anymore, or they definitely won't be available at that price. Some will though. Some will stay the same, but some definitely aren't. Some are doubling in price because they've been that price for years. And yeah, thank you if you've done this. And what else was I going to say? But yeah, that is about the 0 point energy of the new moon, but it's also about the 0 point energy of this winter solstice, or whatever one it is for you, whatever part of the world you're in. But I am going to wish you a very peaceful sleep whenever that time comes for you, and I really hope that you enjoyed that and got something from it. And like I said, just remember, if you'd prefer to do that one-to-one, we can tailor make it to whatever it is you're going through. And I would love to help you, whether it's in an individual session or a package of 4. And if you're in the membership, you get 15% off as well. So that's worth considering. But yeah, see you later. Although I think for this, I feel what I'm going to say is current members can get the members discount, but if you choose to be a member just now to get the discount, I think yeah, I wouldn't normally put a boundary around that, but I feel there might be a bit of a boundary around that anyone that joins like just now, you're going to have to pay what the offers are, you know what I mean? Because I could see that being a little bit tricky. Yeah, because it's yeah, have to be a bit savvy business wise there. But otherwise, yeah, if you just want to join the membership, do come and join us in the membership. But there'll be lots of good offers going out there anyway. Right, okay, so but I'll explain it all. However it's going to work, I will explain it so that members understand and people in the public. But I'll have a wee think about that. I might not do that, but I kind of think that would be wise. But yes, sleep well, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope it's a wee bit busier tomorrow, but it is what it is. Maybe it's actually giving me a bit of a break because I kind of just wanted to get on with the messages, and as much as I love chatting, I'm tired today. So yes, I will see you tomorrow. And well done on all the progress that you've taken, and